love that one. What's up, everybody? Welcome, Arvanauts. Welcome, everybody, to day 58 of Adventures in Middle-earth, Wilderland Adventures. This is called The Crossings of Selduin, and I hope everyone is doing well today and is looking forward to what I expect is going to be an awesome session as the party fights to save Selduin from the forces of the Gibbet King. Before we talk more about that, though, I do have a couple of reminders I want to give people about ways to support the stream and about the schedule ahead. If you have not already done so, please consider following the channel, because that's one of the ways that we know that, people are following us and liking what we do. So please make sure to follow the channel. Please check out the YouTube channel with !ArvTube. That allows you to see past broadcasts of this stream. ! Thank you, Echo. ! ArvCord is the Discord channel where you can hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. ! ArvTweets will get you over to my Twitter where you can retweet this stream. Please do that so you can let people know about what it is that we are doing over here, and we can broaden out beyond just the Twitch community. That is always a good thing. ! ArvTweets for that, and you can find out about all about this at our website for this channel, arvaneleron.com. On the financial side, we have got the shop, ! ArvShop, about which hopefully there will be more in the relatively near future. We've got Adventures in Middle-earth stuff with Terry Toons illustrations. We have, of course, the Infinity and Beyond stuff as well, some of which I was wearing on Saturday. And last but certainly not least, of course, we are going to have some Esper Genesis stuff going up there in the near future as well. So you can get stuff there and then support us by checking that out with ! ArvShop. The special custom Arvin t-shirt, really? That's oh yes. If you're talking about the custom road t-shirt or just the custom t-shirt, anyway, either way. But yes, that is again, you can find that at ! ArvShop. ! Thank you, Encounter Roleplay, for the host. ! ArvTreon is the Patreon, which is currently sitting at 323. That is really kind of the financial backbone of the channel. So the more that we can get people on board with this, the better. And anyone who's able to support us, that would be very much appreciated. So that is what's over there. You can also get inspiration for the players and other things like that. We have custom character backgrounds, one of which I'll be doing sometime early next month. We have a epic poem, which I'll be doing for someone, actually probably sometime next week. So all of that is stuff that we've got coming up with that. So good stuff for you and for the channel. And last but certainly not least, of course, that sub button, which is sitting right above one of your own design. Oh, okay. Cool. I want to check that out then. The sub button right above that video window. We are sitting right now at about 85 subs as we speak, which is cool. So please consider jumping on board, because that also makes a difference and gets you custom sub badges, custom emotes to use here, there, and everywhere across the Twitches. So please make sure to jump on board and sub as well. And thank you so much for the hosts from everybody as well. I appreciate that very much. So as far as schedule is concerned, just a couple of reminders about what we've got going on today, because it's going to be a busy Tuesday. We've got Wilderland Adventures going on right now. Then at 4 p.m. Eastern, so my normal time for this, 4 p.m. Eastern, we'll be over on GOG for Pen and Pixels with the home stretch of Return of the Obra Dinn. I would like to get it done today, only because next week we've got D&D with GOG over on that channel. So I'd like to get that done today if I can, but we'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to. I would say it's only 2 sessions, though, one way or the other. So we're going to be doing that. And then I'll be back here tonight. That'll be 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll be back on this channel tonight at 9 p.m. for the amazing Arvocalist with Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, which is going to be happening next. So that is going to be awesome. It's going to be a very busy day today. And then two other quick things. Tomorrow evening, Wednesday night, at 9 p.m. Eastern, we will be premiering the community D&D game, which is going to star Shadowed Mage, of course, as your DM. It will have Echo Alpha X5, Rock God, Kilobyte, and Hoodie as your players, playing Dragon of Icespire Peak. So I'm very excited for the premiere of that. Again, coming tomorrow. This is part of the increasing presence of tabletop and people doing stuff on this channel. I want this to be something where the channel is live a lot of days of the week, doing different stuff. So we had Emberwind last night. We've got Adventures Middle-earth today. Then we've got that stuff going on tomorrow. So that is happening on Wednesday. It's going to be very, very exciting. And then on Friday, we are going to have the beginning of 2 days of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I'm really excited about, Friday night and Saturday. So that's what we've got going on this week. Very exciting, and I can't wait for any of it. But today, I cannot wait for the continuation of the amazing crew of Adventures in Middle-earth. And so I have unmuted myself so they know that we're ready to go. And then I have unmuted them. And last but certainly not least,
unmuted himself so that we know that we're ready to go. So yeah, I guess we can. Hi.
It's always something different. It's always it always reminds me slightly of Gonzo at the beginning of at the end of the Muppet Show intro, where he always plays the trumpet, and there's always something different that happens. And there's one time where it actually works, and he just kind of is like, and everyone he just looks around, and everyone's like. He just succeeds. So I love that. It's always good stuff. Anyway, but it is a pleasure to have most of my wonderful people here with me. Thank you again for the host, Terry. And to have most of my wonderful people here with me today, although we are missing one person, and that is Amal. Amal is in the midst of teaching and prepping, and I know very much what that's all about. And so she is a new course this semester that she has to prepare for as well, not to mention working on the dissertation and all that stuff for her doctorate. So Amal is busy, and therefore she will not be with us today, but she will be with us for the next session of this fine campaign, which I think is next Tuesday. Yeah, I think next Tuesday is the second session of this. So she will be with us for that one, but she is not with us today. But we do have our other 3 intrepid adventurers, as you can see, and that begins with the gentleman right below me. So to Mr. Trendane Sparks, we bring greetings. Hello, Trend. How's life, the universe, and everything? And who are you playing today, sir?
Yeah. It's okay, I guess. Maybe. We're I'm betting that this whole thing is a dream.
Simulation theory, man. Let's go.
Right?
That's quite possible.
It's just
a long,
just
extensive dream.
It's exactly like what happened in Lord of the Rings, where Aragorn looks at what's her name?
Arwen.
Arwen.
Yeah, that chick. Thanks.
Then it is a good dream, Trent. Then it is a good dream.
But he said it was a dream. So, if I'm right, then Aragorn, he got it from me, because our little game here takes place before Lord of the Rings happens. So Aragorn is quoting me.
Listen,
Tommy.
I know this isn't gonna. I know this is not going to matter to you, Trent, but I just want to be clear. Is this is Arwen played by Liv Tyler in this? Because I'm here for that. If that's the case, I just want to make sure I know that that's the.
You're the DM. You have to be here for that.
Okay, just make it.
You have to be here for
That's
all of
the
this.
only reason I was there for that.
I think if Aragorn is Tony in that scenario, then I don't think Liv Tyler's got to cut this. No,
see, that's what I meant. It wasn't gonna,
That's true.
Yeah. One of us would not have this effect.
No, Boromir though.
Well, no, the other side of it, Vigo.
There we go.
Hello.
And if that twink tries to get involved, it's like, how about that, Legolas? Okay. And then Aragorn's like, yeah, and I'm like, no, don't do that.
Just one of those memes where Aragorn's like, like it's like no, like
and then off on the side, Gandalf's like, anyway, right. So who am I playing? I am playing Tony Bear, the Hearthminder. Sir Ian, if you're watching this, I don't apologize. You come find me and I will apologize to your face. Sure, I'll pick a body part. Face. So yeah, I'm playing Tony Bear, the Hearthminder, who is a Beorning from over where the Beornings live. I almost pointed over here. No, that's a different world.
I was like, that's new to me.
Completely different world. But if it were this world, I think greenest is probably close to where the thing. But then there's blue dragons all over. Whatever. Never mind. It doesn't matter. So yeah, the guy who keeps screaming that it's a dream and has just about spent all of his healing abilities. He's got one, because I don't think we got a short rest in the last ever during this fight.
I'm trying to remember if you would have had one. I don't think so, because you were all trying to like get people healed up. Like, for example, you were dealing with the woman who came to talk to you, her husband Bjork, that's who it was. Bjork, who had been injured, and you came over, and then the Gibbet King animated his, form and basically talked to you and freaked everybody out and caused shadow points and problems for Inga as well, which will be coupled with other problems later on that we'll discuss. So yes.
Speaking of, Right. She's not. I mean, she's below me, but she's not the next. How about I just take the ball and drop it to Will?
Sounds like a plan. So Will has got the ball, and that, of course, is our good friend and now the married man, Mr. Will Jones. What's up, Will? Congratulations on the nuptial bliss and all that, and everything in the new place. And
tax breaks are crazy, man.
Yeah, so like it's awesome. So congratulations, and in honor of this, of course, Will has bought just for streaming to this particular show. An entirely new place. So he's in a place that he only will stream for Tolkien about, like nothing else.
That's right.
This
is my Tolkien house.
Right.
It's the American dream, right? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, yeah, no, it's crazy. It's been it hasn't been very long, but a lot has happened. A lot has happened in a very short amount of time. A lot of things happened almost immediately. And now here I am living in America, in Georgia, a married man. I ironically was gifted a MAGA hat for Christmas, which some parts of the family found hilarious. It was all good natured. It was quite funny. I got one of my family members a Trump mug as a return jest. But yeah, this is Georgia, man. It's a crazy old world out here. Everyone's got guns, votes red, and but hey, we're actually in Savannah, which is like a little student town here. So there's a lot of young people.
Yeah, Georgia's turning less red. I mean, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and it has to be said, like, everyone here is so polite. Everyone here is so nice, even if they do carry shotguns around in their trucks and stuff.
Sometimes that's why they're nice.
That might be, an armed society is a polite society, right? Yeah. But hey, yeah, I'm the immersed life, and now I'm ready to get back to the worlds of Middle-earth. And I'm very concerned when I loaded up the Roll20 map this morning, because last I was here, there were like 5 goblin tokens, and I'm looking at it, and there's about 5,000 of them. So that's an issue, as far as I can see. And apparently Inga is on fire, so there's that.
One of the quotes.
Or is she on fire? Hey.
No, she's just on fire.
Literally on fire.
It's like, damn it. She has actually. That was the problem. Was that last time? They were like, Robar Staunton is no longer in possession of himself. Quick, now is the time. Like they came in, like, reveal royalty, and you just stood there slack jawed. It's like, why? You're not even here. Why didn't you respond? Anyway.
Yeah, I was struck dumb for a little while, just deciding what to do. But Robar Staunton, he is a king in a very small place that no one knows about, and so is he really anything? But he is ready today to perhaps reveal some royalty and hopefully hunt some orc. So and I'll hand over to Terry Ball.
Good stuff. Ball dropped down to Terry. Terry, it's a heavy ball. Always a pleasure. Slightly earlier for you, Terry. So it's there's a little light. There's a little light outside.
It is 4:30 p.m. for me, so that's nice. But yeah, hi. First, I need to click something. Boop.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the resub.
23 months.
Bloop. 23 months. I know. I have like this silver and gold quill that's just sitting waiting for them to open it up to affiliates, or for me to get partnered, I guess. Either way, for them to have for the 2-year and the 3-year badges. Like I'm ready for it. But either way, I appreciate it. Thank you, Terry. Very kind of you.
You're welcome. But yeah, hi. I'm playing Inge, daughter of Ida. She is a dwarf. She has a trusty pony sidekick who is very safe, far away from this mess, and who wears the thickest of all plot armors, as our DM will confirm now.
What?
Now?
Now, like,
yours will be fine.
Your weak-minded tricks will not work on me.
But yeah, she threw a torch at the Gibbet King and caused some mild blisters.
Yes.
Process.
That's true.
Yeah. It's been a while. I don't remember all the details.
Yeah, no, that's I know it's been a year. I mean,
Yeah,
it's been a whole time. But yes, it is a pleasure to have Terry with us and have the others with us. And let's get into it, people, because we've got a competition, a combat to deal with, and a combat to deal with, a competition to see if you can keep the forces of evil at bay, I guess might be the better way to put it. So let me just fire up some combat here. Let's get some orc war marches going. Let's see. That sounds pretty good. There we go. I think that works. I just turn it on and the first thing I hear is just like perfect. Outstanding. I really love that soundscape. Orc War March, the Horde. And then there's also the other one on this is When Goblins Attack. So we have goblins and orcs. The party has been, for the last few sessions, trying to defend the town of Selduin. They, after an attempt at betrayal, which was largely successful by the agents of the Gibbet King, the party was forced to head down here to try to hold the line against an enormous invading army, which has been sent by the Gibbet King to overtake the lands of Wilderland, specifically the lands here of Dale, and then eventually overwhelm Dale, Erebor, and crush the human armies as much as they can of King Bard as well. And so the party has been sent down here to do what they can to kind of hold them back. And what they discovered when they got here was that the town itself, although it had a good and strong gate and a bridge plus the river that helps them, in every other respect, the town was not ready for this fight. Not their fault. They didn't even know that it was coming at first. And because of problems between the master of the town and Dale, and specifically King Bard, there was a delay in trying to actually get the town defended as well as it could be. For that transgression, the master of the town, Eric, ended up having one of his sons lose his life through an orc that basically stabbed him, speared him, and then threw him over the bridge. And after that, all hell broke loose, and the party has been involved in trying to fight them back. They fought back a host of goblins. They fought back an enormous troll that was trying to bash in the gate. And now they had a bunch of orcs, which they thought they were going to deal with, and as was pointed out by Robar, there are a lot of orcs here, a lot of them. And this is, again, just like, as we were joking before we went live, just this plus imagination. So, just this plus more, okay, is basically it. So we just have a horde of creatures that they're dealing with. And in the last final hours, as the party was continuing their desperate struggle, while the few able-bodied townspeople able to fight on their side were gradually killed, whittled down, now we only have, I think, one's badly injured and 3 that are sort of theoretically combat worthy. The party saw a cart being drawn by a pair of black horses, and on the cart was an iron cage with a gibbet containing a rotting human corpse, little more than a skeleton that was held together with blackened sinews and rags. And the same unholy light that was in the eyes of Bjork, a wounded and eventually killed, dead townsperson that Tawny Bear was asked to try to take care of, he was animated by this spirit and basically said, all of you will face your doom, etc., etc. And Tawny was able to eliminate that threat, but of course that was simply the manifestation of the Gibbet King's will. And so as he brought forward this cart, there is a corpse within it, and the skeleton basically screamed out its rage and basically, said that its doom had ultimately come, that the doom of us all had come. And so Inga in particular was sort of given in to despair. She is dealing, of course, with lots of problems with the shadow points anyway, and just sort of deeply, terrified by this. And so managed to set the cart alight. And so the cart on which the Gibbet King stands right now is currently on fire, but only just. I mean, it's only just started, so it's not one of those explosions where all of a sudden everything blows up. It has just started to catch on fire. And so right now, Inga is down on the ground. I don't know whether we actually said you were on fire or just
No, she got slightly singed.
All right, sort of next to the fire, I think is what we said, and is currently somewhat injured, dealing with shadow points, and is also, as of last count, terrified, I believe. right? Weren't you? Or was this... That was before. You were terrified
That was
and then you came
before,
out of it.
like
Yeah, that's
back
right.
on the gate.
That's right. You're not terrified now. But you are, however, dealing with fire.
I should get my notes.
The fire next to it. So... Inga is there. Robar is currently standing to the, I guess this is the eastern side, because the map north is to the right for some reason. So the eastern side of the bridge, Robar is standing with one of the townspeople who are able to fight. The river is up on the roof of the guardhouse, 2 soldiers below her in the floor below. And Tawny, who was just recently bashing his hand against the gate saying it was a dream, is currently behind the gate attempting to hold it against a force of orcs that is trying to slam it open. And there's, the bar that's across it continues to crack. The doors are continuing to crack. So this is, as per usual, Trendain is in the position of having one of his characters try to hold the line against a bunch of people trying to get in. This seems to happen
Get in
quite
through a
bit.
door, yeah.
Yes.
Hodor!
And so with all of that said, I'm going to hand things back over to the party. And I don't remember if I had... Let me see. Let me pull up turn order. Yeah, okay. So we are still in turn order, and I think on initiative. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the last person to go was probably Tawny, yeah, because we had Tawny and then Stone, which means that we're back up to the top of the round. And so I will head back over then to Inga. So you are standing right now next to this fire, and the Gibbet King, the just beginning of it. In fact, I'll put this here to show it. So the Gibbet King is in this cart. There is a little bit of fire on it, but it's still not, it's only very slowly starting to smolder and burn. And so I will hand things back over to you, Inga. What would you like to do?
How are the orcs around me reacting?
So the orcs, many of the orcs are trying to swim across the river, basically. Some of them you can see there. There are other orcs who are trying to cross the bridge. The one thing that's clear is that they are giving the cart a wide berth, but they're also coming in along behind it. So you get the impression that they're basically both afraid of and also, drawn to it in some way. So their reaction so far seems to be like anger and they want to kill you, but it doesn't, there's nothing specific about the cart. They're just worried about the cart in general, apparently, and whatever's on top of it. But yeah.
Okay. In that case, I reach into my pocket and I pull out a bottle of dwarven spirits that I have been hanging on to.
Okay.
Which are very, very high in alcohol content. And she is gonna throw that bottle on the cart, hoping that it will break and spill the highly flammable alcohol.
Highly
all
flammable.
Over. Highly flammable.
Okay. I am going to ask you then to make a ranged attack, basically, on this cart.
So a dex check.
Which would be a dex check, yeah.
14?
And let's see. Yeah, because I was about to say, I was going to ask about proficiency, but no, because I want to, there's no need to do that.
Oh, by the way, before she throws it, she looks at the bottle and is like, I was saving you for a special occasion, but this is more important than that throws.
This is now that time. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, let's see here. Okay. Just want to make sure that I add the cart into there on initiative order. Okay. So that does indeed break, and so when it breaks, it does increase the flames a little bit. So you can see them starting to kind of grow, sort of begin to increase. And it occurs to you, Inga, that probably the more of this that happens, the more flaming arrows, broken alcohol bottles, things like this, the more of that happens, presumably the faster the flame will burn. Right now, the flame is not close to the Gibbet King who's at the back of the cart. But presumably, the more of this that you're able to do, the faster that process is going to go. So, yeah.
Okay.
How are the horses reacting?
The horses
Wait, there
are...
were horses?
Yeah, there are horses that were in the front of the cart. The horses do not seem to be. I mean, they're not happy about the flames. Obviously, you can tell they're trying to avoid the flames, but they're not. The horses are not reacting like normal horses. They are sort of just steady and almost seems like they're drugged or tranced or something along those lines. Not sort of normal reactions from animals.
Okay. Then I think Inge is gonna stand her ground.
Okay. Let's see. So.
Unless I also get to attack, which I doubt.
No.
Yeah.
But you're gonna stand your ground now. I do want to point out. Now you've got fire to in front of you on the cart and behind you as well. So just be aware that you're gonna have to either at some point, if you wish to escape that, run through the fire or leap off the bridge.
I know.
Just be aware that is a thing.
I know.
Okay. That is going to then lead us to the river, and whoever would like to Jaeger the river today, I am happy to have whoever that is. Does anyone have a thought that they want to do? Like, Will, do you want to do that? Do you want to have someone else take on?
I can do. Yeah.
Or do you,
sure.
or do you want Trent? Do you want to do it? It's up to you. Like, I don't. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, what was the river doing last? So I have an idea of what she's.
She just ran up to the top, basically onto the guard tower to look down at what was happening. I don't remember if she also fired a flaming arrow, but
She doesn't have a bow.
Yeah.
there's no, and there's no more of the fire up there. So I think she was just getting a good vantage point.
She was like, "What the fuck is Inge doing?" And then like
Basically.
checking up on her.
Yeah, probably calls out your name. Bingo. Jack of the trades. None of these are good. Okay. Let's see. She's got a hand. Can she hit anything from up here to like help relieve Tony?
Well, so let's see. 5 feet.
There should still be stones up there that she can throw down. And I do not mean the dog.
just chucks all of stone. Yeah, no stone's on the ground anyway. There's little bits of rubble. How much you think that she's going to be able to get from that is unclear. There's definitely a couple of orcs that are within sight, or I suppose she could try to chuck this over the fire. 10, 15, 20, 30. It's about, the cart's about 45 feet from her, so she could try to, I suppose, heave something in that direction.
No, I was like thinking letting them drop down on the orcs that are standing right.
Oh yeah, I mean she could
Below
try
her.
to do that.
Okay,
She could try to do that. Although there's more rubble on the other side than on this side. Yeah, because the whole tower basically is rubble.
Yeah, but like also as preparation, like that's what we did, like carrying like stones and rocks up there that can't be dropped on.
Yeah, you did some of that, that's true.
Yeah.
And by the way, speaking of preparation, I should mention that you do remember have one remaining preparation die, which allows you to add, I think it's 1d6. Let me double check. Yes.
1d6 victories against the entire.
Yes, exactly. No. 1d6 to any attack roll, damage roll, saving throw, skill check, or to add the result to AC in reaction to one attack. So you have one of those remaining that can be used by anyone in the group. But again, just one of those, like one for the entire group. So whenever anybody uses it, it's gone.
Does
Hey, chain dogs.
Does the river still have? Wasn't she carrying like a couple of spears or javelins?
I don't remember that. Well, let me see if she's got anything listed. I don't. She's written a very good harp, an exceptional Gandalf-given harp. I don't see any javelins. I don't remember her saying that she had any of those, but maybe I'm wrong.
I felt like she had some, but used them and didn't restock them or something.
Yeah, I think she may have had them at some point, but I don't think at the moment.
Okay.
But she has some rubble that she can get to, yes.
Yeah, let's use some rubble because that's what I see her being able to do at this point. Okay, so what do you want me to roll to chuck a bunch of rocks at this orky fellow down here?
Let's have you do then. Let's have you do a just sort of a basic ranged attack.
Okay.
This is going to be basically just a dex check because she's not necessarily proficient with rubble throwing.
+2 for gravity assist.
Hey, it's a natural.
Wow!
Oh, nice.
It says it's Robar, but I did roll it on her sheet. So.
Yeah, so she grabs like, and throws it down. Okay, that is a hit. So go ahead and roll your damage.
What's the damage on a rock?
Rubble one. Let's
1d4
say that's
thousand.
1d6, and we'll add 2 for the gravity. So
Okay.
plus 2
Oh,
gravity.
man. That was pretty bad. 5.
Okay.
Wait a second. It's a critical, so full damage. Maximum damage.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
hey, yeah.
There it is.
I forgot we did that. That's right, yeah.
Wait, did you say? I see 2d6 though.
Because like I
Nothing.
rolled the second dice.
Oh, so
I
it's
forgot that we did it this way. Yeah.
okay. So it's one. So it ended up being what? It ended up being.
8.
It should just be 8. Yeah.
It should be 8.
No. Yeah. It was a critical, so it's automatically maximum damage plus 2, which you
6.
said.
Yeah.
So 1d6 would be 6
Oh,
plus
right.
2.
That's right. Yes. So 8. All right.
Please don't ask me to explain math.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I got you. I got you. I'm
Yeah, it was
clear.
like even I figured it out and I suck at math. Math.
Okay. So there
I
is.
suck at pronouncing that too.
So okay. So it hits with a sort of thud and it kind of staggers to its right and then looks up, like points up, at the tower. So it is now taken notice of.
Tower
of your
bit me.
presence. Stop that! Yeah, but he looks up and so takes notice of you. The river. Is she going to stay where she is?
Yes.
Okay. That is going to lead us on nicely to Robar. So yes, Robar, as you can see, you were to the east. You have one townsperson who is apparently fit for the most part. And you can see first of all, you can see the cart. You see the flames. You see Inga somewhere in between all of that in the flames. But you also just see like a horde, like pretty literally, of orcs crossing, trying to swim over the river. Now they are struggling because of the current, and some of them have already been swept away down to the south, to the east.
Thanks to a fishing net.
Into a fishing net. That's true. But there are a lot more on the way.
Okay. Right. Let's see. Do I have a shot on the Gibbet King?
Let me see.
Can I pull a Legolas like bring it down?
Yeah, bring it down.
Except I am Legolas, and I'm telling
in
myself
this
to bring it
scenario.
down.
So, do you want a shot at the king or the cart? Because
Probably
the king is in an iron cage and is a little bit more available to you than the cart. You could probably get a shot on both, but you're gonna have
The horses? I mean, I'm not adverse to killing a horse. at this
That's
junction.
also possible. You're probably going to be doing this at a minus because you're below the level of the bridge, so you're kind of shooting up at it, but not much below. I mean, this is not a very elevated bridge, so it's not.
All right, I'll try and shoot a horse through the brain.
Okay.
Don't shoot the horse.
Why not?
This is what I've wanted
Then
I
the
was
cart
gonna
will
free
since the
them next
beginning.
turn.
This is
I was
war.
gonna cut them loose next turn so that they can run away. But
Well, I'm cutting them loose from a mortal bond. All right, so. And I also don't know that you're doing this plan, so it's in character. 7.
Go with the 7.
friendship with Robar is cancelled.
It's canceled.
Now Gibbet
You
King
don't
is
even know.
friendship.
You don't even know that I did this because I just fired so far off into the sky.
Yeah, that's actually true. You just basically fire above them, and then you're like, ah!
You probably just hit the sparrow that was going to tell Gandalf, "Holy shit, we need you right now."
Yeah, exactly. You just fired up. It is a wild miss, unfortunately.
Yep.
Also, you would have needed to have moved forward to this just to sort of shoot around the edge. It's not a problem. You can do that
Okay,
and
yeah,
jump
I
back.
can. Yeah,
but,
yeah.
where do you want to
Question?
jump back to? One secretary. Where do you want to jump back to?
I guess slightly more cover.
Okay,
here,
so
I
back
guess.
right in the same spot. Yes.
You have extra attacks per round.
Oh, yeah,
I have
you
a
have a
second
second
attack.
attack. That's
Yeah.
Oh god, no. 12.
good. Yeah. 12 is actually not pretty close to hitting the horse, but not.
But
quite.
3 7s. I mean, hey.
Yeah, that's true. If you were playing Yahtzee, you'd be dominating
yeah.
at this point. That unfortunately does not hit either. It's closer though. At this point, Inga might be aware that you were shooting roughly near the horses on that second shot.
Was trying to shoot me.
Hey, with all the shadow points you're piling up, you might start to think that, yeah, we're coming after you too.
It'll be death before the end. Yes.
But
you're
yeah,
good.
like given that there is so many targets here, Shouldn't it be logical that if an arrow misses, that it hits something else?
It would be, but also there's other things you can hit, like the water, like shooting high over everything. And remember, he's aiming for the cart. So if he misses high, he's going to miss over everything. But if you want to say that on the other end you hear a "Rah!" somewhere in the ranks of the orcs, I'm happy to do that. It's
To
quite
quote
possible.
Hamlet, that I shot my arrow over the house and hit my brother.
Hurt my brother.
In this case, his brother is. Oh my God, are you related to orcs?
Everything is clear. So yes, if you want to say that it may have hit something in the far distance in the horde, I'm happy to say that is the case. Okay, so that is Robar's turn.
I'm just imagining the entire crew taking these genetical tests to like see if they are like 2% Swedish and
Yeah.
like, I don't know, 5% Ashkenazi and I don't know.
The test will be called 2D3 and me. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so it is now the bad guy's turn.
I see what you did there. The what is a D3?
And it begins with the Gibbet King, who looks down at you, Inga, and then raises its bony hand and points it at you, and sort of glares at you, and then I sort of sees your position, and says, let me pull my echo machine up. Sees your position and says, "You will burn, dwarf," and waves its hand. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Sir. Let's see if I get any. It's not poison, I'm assuming.
It is not poison.
It's difficult to outwise a poison.
Oh wait, that was just a wisdom check.
Okay.
Same thing though, I don't get any bonuses.
So 4. You are, as it sort of points at you and says this, you are suddenly, your mind is filled with visions of terror, and you were again cast back to the dungeons of Dol Guldur, to the feelings of horror and doubt and uncertainty and fear that you felt within there. You are going to take damage as a consequence of this. Let's see. Okay. So you take a grand total of 8 points of damage from this. It's basically psychic damage is the equivalent of it. As you feel your will just being sort of sapped from you, kind of stagger underneath the weight of this thing's evil. And you are not paralyzed, you're able to move, but you are still, like, you can just feel the weight of the dread kind of falling down on you. And the dread of this thing, its eyes sort of continue to burn with this cold fury as it stares at you. Okay, the nice thing about being a Gibbet King in a wagon is that it doesn't have anywhere to move. And yet, as you look, Inga, you can see that the cart the horses are pulling it forward, or starting to. So they're starting to pull this cart forward, burning and all, starting to pull it forward. They're not over you yet, but they're starting to move it in your direction. Okay, that is going to lead us to...
Wait, so am I like feared? Is that the word?
Terrified.
Terrified. Thank you.
You are not terrified. No, you were able to. No, you just took damage from it, but you were not frozen in place with terror. No.
Or trying to run away desperately.
Right. Exactly. No, your will is your own, although you feel the darkness of this day. Okay. Now the bad guys go. So there's gonna be a lot of bad guys. All right. First of all, they're going to try to bash. Okay. They're going to try to bash through. The doors, again, boom inwards, Tawny, and there's a huge, again, crack. And you can now see that the bar that's sort of holding these doors shut, the wooden bar that's holding it shut, is almost split in two. And the sort of doors are rattling as these things continue to shake. And the orcs throw themselves again and again against this door. Robar, you see the orcs just, continuing to pour across here, just like farther and farther. A bunch of them do not make their checks, so there's a few that like go farther down the river. Like this. In case anyone's curious, I made a group check for many of them. I'm not actually going to make 75 separate individual checks. So I made group checks for many of them. Okay. But a bunch more still make it across, and even as that happens, you can see that a bunch more flood across the bridge and are running in this direction. And the thing that I want to mention to the river and to Robar, who can see this, is just that, and I guess Inga through the fire ahead of you, although you're a little bit more focused on the Gibbet King, is this just the horde just seems endless. I mean, like, there just seems to be no end to this army. Probably not since the Battle of the Five Armies has there been an army of this size of orcs and goblins here. This is clearly not just a group of a raiding party, right? This is an actual, honest-to-God army that is held together, as evil often is, through fear and through hatred. And so as these orcs kind of pour forwards, you can see more of that happening. Arrows now from the back ones in the bridge. Arrow strings twang, and let's see.
If they fire in the right rhythm, it's no.
Yes, basically. All right. Many of them are aimed at the tower on the northern side, and only one, on the western side, and only one of the townspeople is hit, but it is enough to kill them. So he staggers back and falls. Then there are a series of attacks made on river. 4 of them, to be exact. Okay, let's see.
What else have they got to do with their time?
A 12, I'm going to guess, is going to miss. Will, can you confirm?
12 is a is a miss. AC 14.
Okay. That's a miss. That's a miss. But the critical hit is not a miss. Yeah. All right, let's see. That is going to be 5 points of damage to the river. So she's down to 32. I had her at 37, so she's at 32 right now. As she kind of takes a step back. Several more fire in your direction, Robar. 1 towards your townsperson, but that misses. But 2 more towards you. Let's see, 14 is the one that's closest.
That's the number they are looking for.
All right, so that is going to hit. All right, that is going to do 4 points of damage. Okay. You'll be happy to know that it doesn't appear to be poisoned. Okay. So the townspeople behind you, by the way, Tawny, you can hear now sort of screams and shrieks, and as you kind of take a quick glance over your shoulder, some of them are basically, not all of them, I mean just a couple, are beginning to fall back a little bit, like as they just see this onrushing just death, wave kind of coming towards them. And that is going to lead us to Stone, who is up next. So Stone is standing on the western side, to the western side of the tower, and can also see these, creatures coming right now. And Stone is going to be your task as well, I believe.
Do I have? I don't have Stone's character sheet. Actually,
let me give you access.
So you might need to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Stone. No, don't delete item. That would be bad. Okay.
Only for you. Then you would have to deal with a very angry amount.
Yes, oh boy, you're not joking. You are not joking. Okay, you should now have control over Will, I think.
Okay, let's go see what Stone can do. Okay, what was Stone?
Doesn't have a lot in the way of ranged, unfortunately, Stone.
Yeah. So Stone has been just sort of like waiting.
Yeah, Stone was with the river and then kind of ran. The river ran up to the top while Stone stayed where he was. So I think she just had him sort of.
She sent Stone to me to get healed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and now he's at like 19 out of 20, and now I think he's kind of a free agent, in terms of what you want him to do.
Okay. All right. In that case, maybe you can go and reinforce Tawny in case this guy dies.
Okay.
Or maybe even come around to Robar, actually, because I got a whole lot of goblins coming in there.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how far can he move. Let's see. Speed is 40.
Okay, these are 5-foot squares. So if he double moves, I mean, he could get around.
Yeah. Let's have him. I can't actually move the token. So if you just want to move him somewhere around here. Yeah, the tokens also have to be given access to it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember. There you
The
go.
only way, since the door is still shut, even though it's bent inward at the top, the only way he'd be able to back me up is if he jumped up on Tawny and threw the
Right.
door to the other side and just started, going rabid on the orcs on the other side of the door.
You can now move him, Will. You should be able to.
Triangle. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, sort of bring him in here.
Okay.
Back us up.
Okay. All right, he arrives. You can see Robar, by the way, when Stone shows up, that he, for all his bravery, does look a little bit nervous. His ears are back. He's growling, but you can tell, like, with this, he's probably never seen an army of this size kind of, coming at him. So he's hanging in there, but this is not so fun for him. Okay. And that is going to bring us back up to Inga, who at the moment is getting coffee.
Yeah,
So we will
sure.
see what happens there.
I imagine Stone's probably like, as he's running over from one side of the gatehouse to the other, kind of looks over at the people who are running off and going, might be a good idea.
Yep. Takes like one paw in that direction, then
And I could trip 2 or 3 of them, just bite their hamstrings, and I'd be able to outrun them. The orcs would go for them. I'm a lot faster than they are. I can run for days. Okay, fine.
exactly.
I look at him. Don't you dare.
Don't you do it?
Don't let this happen. Okay. Let's see. So we've got that going on. Okay, good. Right. So we're just waiting for her to come back and see what happens as the fire gradually continues to grow. By the way, Tani, as you're trying to hold back this. Oh wait, actually, I'm sorry. Did I have you? I don't think I had you go, Tani. I'm sorry about that.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, you're supposed to go before Stone. I apologize. I completely missed that. I thought that Stone went first and you the other way around.
I mean,
So-
I'm basically holding the door.
Okay,
the
so
only
you are
thing I
doing
could
that.
possibly be doing is like trying to slip spoons into the thing to reinforce the board that's in there.
Right.
Big deal. But otherwise, I would say that just in case they're watching, Jeff and Hershey's, if you'd like to sponsor us, we'd love to make emergency Reese's peanut butter cups while we get slaughtered by
Yeah.
horde of-
Yeah.
'cause
We love
nothing says loving like peanut butter cups while getting slaughtered by orcs and goblins.
That is definitely the case.
I mean, you're not actually saying loving. You're saying as you're drowning on your own blood. But it's just some people it sounds like loving. And
That was a terrifying sound of a lot of blood. I just want to say.
yeah,
over
well,
there.
there's a lot of blood in the average person. And hi, Terry. your
Inga,
turn.
we are back up. We are back up to you.
Perfect timing, I see.
Yes, we are back up to you. So it is your turn, and the fire continues to gather and grow around you, and you are finding yourself uncomfortably close to this wagon also.
I want to try and cut the horses loose.
Okay. So you're going to do that. I want you to know that doing
go
that is
right across here.
That's what I was trying to do too.
We're not doing a blood sacrifice here.
I agree. I agree.
You got that right, Mokara. The adventurers made a few new friends. Yes. So if you want to do this, Inga, be aware that you are going to be exposing yourself to the fire because it's in the front of the wagon and is pretty much almost burning the horses too. So you can try to cut them free, but which is fine. You can do that. I'm just letting you know that's going to be a consequence of this.
And as someone who owns a pony and knows how things like, saddle straps and harnesses and things work, you would know that there's only the straps across here and right across the shoulders that you would have to cut, and the rest of it will just slip off as the horse continues to move. And it's the stuff that binds it to the chest that allows him to pull forward. So you don't have to cut that much.
So doing that would also expose me to the fire?
Yes. I mean, it would just means that it would do it for a lot less time.
Right.
So the horses are standing in the fire.
The horses, yeah. The horses are standing. The horses are standing, or maybe to put it clearly, right in front of the fire, and they're pretty much going to be getting burned themselves within the next round. Which is why I mentioned the fact that they seem drugged, because most of the time horses would be running away. These horses are not They're not moving. Like, I mean, they're moving slightly, but they're not running away with terror. Their eyes don't look as if they're like, oh my god, I'm about to burn. They don't seem to notice.
Do I have any flammable arrows in my possession? Like, I didn't write them down, but like, do you say it would be plausible that Inga put like some into her?
The problem is you've already used some of those, though. You used a lot of these arrows at the beginning of the fight. I would say that you probably have an arrow or two left over that you could do if you wish. But be aware, it's not like you just touch it to the flame and then like it'll take a little bit of time to get them going.
Quiver is the word you're looking for.
Quiver, thank you. Like the plan right now is just to keep shooting at the Gibbet King.
Okay.
A
cart or the king?
The king himself.
Okay.
I mean, he is like covered in rags and stuff. So
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sufficiently flammable in theory, especially now that they're doused in alcohol.
In theory.
Yeah. Can I get my 2 flammable arrow shots off on him?
Sure, you can get 2 shots off on him.
Okay.
For sure.
Right.
I would like to do that.
Okay, go ahead and do that. Yeah, and exactly. You're firing. Basically, his armor is the cage around him, basically.
15?
15. There we go. 15 will hit.
Okay. Oh, and a critical!
Wow.
Nice.
All right. So roll damage for that first one, and then the second one's max.
That would be 8, and... Wait, how much damage do I do? An 8!
Okay. Okay.
16 damage!
So both. 16 damage. Now, I want to be clear. These arrows are not magical, correct?
No, but they are fire.
They are on fire, yes. The arrow sort of pierces his body, and there is this unearthly wail that comes from him, but you note that the arrow itself doesn't seem to have pierced as deeply as you might have expected. It seems to be more of a shallow wound, and you felt like you're like, whoosh, you know, like you were very proud of this shot, and yet it doesn't seem to be as hurt as you might have expected. And it looks at you, and its eyes open, and
is he burning yet?
no.
Shoot.
Okay.
Very rude.
You did.
Go on.
Yeah, Inga like stares at him and says, "You will not take this city for as long as I stand on this bridge."
And there's a moment's silence, then it says, "Then you will not stand there long, dwarf."
Then come and get me!
And the wagon, as if sort of directed by your voice, continues to roll towards you. And now your back feels uncomfortably hot, Inga, and you realize that you're standing right next to the fire, like, behind you. And basically, you got a flaming wagon in front of you, moving towards you slowly, and a flames behind you. And hordes of orcs. It's just a Tuesday, really. It's, you know, it's a classic Tuesday. Where do you want to move, if anywhere?
When is the Gibbet King turn after me?
Right
after me, or?
No. Actually, the order has been River and then Robar and then the Gibbet King.
Okay. Yeah, I think Inge is gonna try to get on the other side of these flames, like over here.
Okay.
I can't tell like how wide it is. Could she jump over them, or how high they are? I have no idea.
She can try to. So what you could try to do is you could try to get onto the little wall here, either to this side. You're gonna have to make a dexterity check, and there is the risk that you will fall into the fire or into the river. But you can do that, and that would be the best way to avoid it. Otherwise, the only way over it is through it. It's too high to jump over, especially for a dwarf.
Then I'm gonna try to get over the wall.
Okay, which way?
You're
Which
saying
wall?
she cannot jump the distance?
This one.
Okay, so I will need you to make a dexterity check. This is going to be with acrobatics. I will take, but this is at disadvantage right now. You got a wall that is slick with oil that is on fire, and with a bunch of orcs firing arrows at you. This is the definition of not in a good advantageous spot.
Woof.
In fact, I think I will make this as a clip. What does disadvantage look like, Greg? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's take the case of Inga on this bridge.
Well, YOLO. 6.
A 6. So when you get onto this, you topple. Now, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you roll a 4-sided die. You can decide 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 are the two splits. You can decide which direction you want which to be. So in other words, 1 to 2, do you want that to be fire or the river? And not you're the river, but the actual
Wait, can't
river.
we just do even and uneven? That's easier.
Oh, that's easy. If you want to do that, that's fine. Do you want to just do even and odd? But which is which, though? Even is the river or
even
odd?
is the river, odd is the fire.
All right, let's see what you get.
Woof. I can't look.
Good choice.
All right. Even is the river. So you topple over and land in the river. Now, the good news is that the river cushions your fall and you do not take any damage from it. The bad news is that you're now in the rapidly rushing river with a bunch of your orc friends. The river...
Fortunately, you're upstream, so the water tastes better.
Yeah, that's true. But the river is going to carry you as you splash in about 15 feet. So you are now underneath. You're just going to have to imagine yourself as under the bridge. Right now, in fact, I'll put little...
So I technically got where I wanted, just like not on the x-axis.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
That might be a good way to put it, yes. Okay.
Wait, which one was which again?
In that case, it would be X.
Okay.
Okay, so you are now under the river, under the bridge, and you are floating downstream. You will have a chance to react to that next turn. The good news is that you're out of any immediate attack until the orcs are you, but we'll worry about that next round.
Or
Yes.
until an enemy ends his turn within my reach.
That's fair, although at the moment you and the orcs are going down at about the same speed. But yes, I
So
would.
I stay at the same distance.
Yes, I will take that into account, one way or the other. Okay, the other thing, of course, is that you're also going to be dealing with your armor, but we'll worry about that again. We'll get there. Okay, that's going to leave us to the river. So, Will, this is you, and then followed by your actual character, Woodlock.
Okay. Man, the river is not doing a whole lot here, but.
So you've seen Inga fall off. She's now below the bridge, and you can see the cart where the fire is gradually creeping up the side of it.
Does Inga look like she's in a lot of trouble?
Nah.
Well,
Can't see her at all.
Yeah, that and now you can't see
Well,
her.
that might be the main problem.
Yeah, I mean, she slipped and fell, and at that point you lost sight of her, so you kind of don't know.
Okay, she's fallen and can't get up. That's fine. That's man. That's
Sure, medic alert bracelet should be fine.
let's lob another rock into this guy here, I guess, because I don't think the car is. I can do much of the car. I haven't got anything ranged aside from these rocks.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. And I don't want to just throw away a hand axe. So yeah, I'll try that.
All right. Worked last time.
Yeah. Which is just a dex. 17.
17 will hit.
And it's a d6 plus 2. Man, 3 points of damage. Could I be rolling any worse today?
All right, 320.
Yes.
Well, that's true. I could.
The gods are like, yes, you could. And
Yeah,
let me show you how. Okay, so that does hit. It actually hits the same orc you hit before. And
Yep.
so it kind of like again points up rather comically at the same thing. Like that didn't do anything last time. It's pointing at you. Okay, and now what? Do you want to have her stay where she is?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah. Stay where we are right now.
Okay. Now, the townsperson who is left kind of looks out and turns around and, what do I shoot? There's too many of them! And is sort of yelling out the window. So I would say that the river, although she's not on the same floor, could hear him yelling that, probably.
Yeah, shoot the cart, is what she'd say.
Okay.
Or the king, you know.
Right.
Shoot the king.
Actually,
He's
what...
not my king.
not...
Hashtag
not my king. Oh my god. That's funny. Oh man. It's MTGCG, right? Like make the Gibbet King dead again. Okay, when she... Now, this is important. Cart or king? What do you actually say?
King.
Okay. So... Oh, that will actually... That shall hit it.
Aha.
All right. So it strikes it again. You notice that the striking of it, as the arrow does go true, but it does not. You know, the river can see that it does not pierce as much as you would have expected, and you suspect it is, resistant to weapons of this type. because of its unearthly nature. Frankly, given how disastrously the body does not look very well together in the first place, the fact that it somehow didn't just blow up upon its first being exposed to attack is demonstrative of the fact there's something unusual about this thing. Okay, now we have Robar. Robar, you are up.
Okay, I am. Horses have been cut loose? Question mark.
No, I don't know. Actually, wait a minute. Did no? Because she ended up firing at the king instead of doing the.
Because horses are too close to the fire.
Right, exactly. So no.
All right, then I will shoot for the horses again.
Okay.
I'm trying to cut the cord as well. 23 on the second one.
23 will definitely hit.
Okay, die, horse. 6 points of damage.
Okay, so this one does definitely have its full effect upon the horse. The horse kind of staggers a little bit, and the cart sort of shifts slightly. So the cart now rotates, let us say, a little bit this way, although it's still continuing to move in this direction. The horse definitely is not hurt, and you can see, Robar, as you kind of look around the corner, that it's not blood which seems to be trickling down from the wound, although maybe, but it seems like some kind of dark ichor, like kind of almost congealing as the blood comes out of it. Yeah, it's not good looking at all. Okay. Are you staying still where you are? Like, I assume you leapt forward to take the shot in the back.
Yeah, leap forward, leap back, yeah.
Okay. And the townsperson next to you says, what do I shoot at? And there's like, again, because he sees all the orcs, there's a cart.
Kill that horse!
All right, he steps forward. And, wow. And apparently turns and shoots you by accident. Critically misses. And
he's from Peter.
arrow goes into the river, and
she
curses.
falls off the tower.
Yes, exactly, and everyone's really unhappy. Okay, all right. Now it is the Giga King's turn. Okay, so let's see. What does he have? Well, the one that's close to him actually is going to be the one that he can see is the river. So, so he points up again. And he says, "Suffer as your people will suffer." And I need the river to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Okay, river wisdom save. 19.
Okay, yeah. So she feels this sort of moment of dread, but then sort of casts it off, proudly sort of rebuking him as she stands there, and he just... Okay.
She suffers no fools.
And you can see that the fire is getting closer and closer to him. It's definitely spreading, although it still is not quite up to his body yet. Now the bad guys go. So the first one is, again, a slam. Let me see how much that does. Okay, a slam into this. The bar now cracks in half. Basically, so Tani, now the bar is kind of like diagonally over you, if you know what I mean, and the door itself is kind of twisted and bent in and is starting to kind of creak open. Your best guess, because it's you at the moment and the townsperson sort of against at least 5 of these things, and your best guess is that you maybe have a round or 2 before it breaks all together, depending on how things go. So, so just be aware. I will not forget about you, but I'm just letting you know that happens. The other ones that are in the river, let's see. A few of them do not make their checks, so they drift farther off, but these ones do. And this one and this one manages to get to the bank. And they leap onto the bank and charge at you, Robar. The first one is going to attack with vengeance and cure and furious anger, as they say. Okay. Oh, no, not that one. It's a different orc. It's not that one. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Takes out this bent sword, scimitar, basically, and tries to slash you with it. That's going to be a 21.
Yep. That'll little just about do it, hasn't it?
Oh, 8 points of damage. Wow, it did very well on that one. Just slashes you with its rusty metal. Okay. So...
Yikes.
my modified emote, Terry. So slashes you, and then just sort of looks at you. Stone, you hear growling next to you. The townsperson kind of takes a few steps back in terror. This other one is going to run up and charge at him, but is going to, fortunately for the townsperson, critically miss. These other ones are almost to the bank, and the only one that is different here is this one, which tries to struggle up Inga to see you, and like basically takes its sword, and now it comes in quotes within range, so it's going to try to slash at you. However,
In the water?
yes, I was going to say it's going to do so at extreme disadvantage, but it just seems so like filled with anger and terror that you can sort of see the reaction there. And yeah, that's going to miss terribly. But it is slashing at you, and the one thing it does is you're going to like run in, basically bump into him next round, depending on what you decide to do going forward. Okay, these guys.
But he also just ended his round.
Yeah, so I get to move now by like half my speed. So what Inga's gonna try to do is like to dive underneath him to get on the other side of him.
Interesting.
So like kind of over there.
So remember that you've got your armor, though, that you're dealing with, which is going to make it hard, even for a hardy dwarf, to be able to do this. I'm going to allow you to make an athletics check. You're going to do it at disadvantage, but I need you to know that if you fail the check, this means that you are going to be below the level of water. Now, that's not for long, doesn't mean you're going to permanently drown, but it means you're going to be below the level of the water for at least a round, so 6 to 8 seconds or so, and where you come up is going to be somewhat random. So I'm not discouraging you from trying it, other than to say that this is a tough spot.
Like she doesn't wear the most heavy armor, I should
Yeah,
mention.
but still, you're not in leather armor. You're in, I believe, chain, right, of some kind.
A corselet of mail,
Yeah.
which I have no idea what that means.
A male
Chain
corselet is not light. Now you're strong.
Like I tried to
so-
Google it, but it just shows me sexy ladies in corsets.
Hey, good try.
Look at chainmail.
Oh, it's chainmail. Okay.
It's heavy.
It's just a corset of chainmail.
A corset of how does it
Basically.
even work?
Well, on a dwarf, they're a little thicker around the waist, so It's
Did
a
you just
different-
call me fat?
No, I'm saying that dwarves have a different calcium matrix, and it makes them
Big
less
bones.
buoyant in the water.
Big bones,
yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, that
Sure.
is in the Sleeping Dragon. Dwarves can't swim because their bodies are denser than humans, and so they sink. They're not buoyant, and they sink.
They're like
Anyway.
Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, then I grow a bunch of extra arms. If I can. No. Yeah, I'm gonna try to dive. You said dex check or what?
That's going to be, and that's going to be, no, this is actually strength is what you need. This is going
Oh,
to be,
do I get athletics?
you can do athletics, sure, but again, it's a disadvantage, remember.
Are you kidding me?
That sucks.
Are you kidding me?
I am
However-
not kidding you.
However, he said that where you emerge could be or it will be random,
Random.
so you might pop up in Long
That's
Lake.
right. So,
Oh.
I will roll this one, but you can tell me. So, so above him, to the right of him, to the left of him, and to the south of him. So it's going to be, above will be a 1. So basically right where you are, it would be if I roll a 1. If I roll a 2, it'll be to his right. If I roll a 3, it'll be to below him, where you were trying to go. And if it's a 4, then it'll be to the left of him.
Okay,
I
are you rolling?
rolled-
Am I rolling?
Nope, it's me. I'm rolling this one. You are not in control of this. But you'll be happy to know that I rolled a 3. So you did end up actually on this side of him, which is where you were intending to go. So you're now on the other side and kind of like looks around and sees you on the other side of him and seems upset about it.
Good.
So that worked out. Okay. Now, meanwhile, the rest of the orcs. All right. They flood towards you in a somewhat literal flood. These all go over here. These all go over here. This guy gets lost. This one vanishes altogether because they're off the map now. This one goes over here.
The real reason for the ocean level rising, the water levels rising, is just that there are too many orcs.
That's right. I
swimming
mean,
around.
climate change is really created by this fight. I mean, this is where this all started.
And similarly, this is why, as Tawny is standing there holding the door and trying to, he's saying, "This is why I said we should set the river on fire."
I told you so. Okay.
So that all the water would burn away, and therefore the water levels will lower.
And also, hi, Rudno, what's up? Yeah, you can see now, and the orcs behind here, they are still kind of leaving the cart at a respectful, or staying a respectful distance behind the cart, except for this crew that's in front. So they're sort of almost waiting to see what happens as the kind of cart continues to roll forward. Okay, and then some arrows fire out. Several at the townsperson. Yep. This one is also hit. Not dead, but injured. He staggers back against the back wall. Let's see if Robar's townsperson manages to... Wow. Charmed life, man. Several shots go over his head. Stone is exposed. A couple of ones there. There is one hit, I think. 21 on Stone.
Yeah, that's got to hit. It does.
It's going to be 5 points of damage to our poor Stone as the arrow hits his flank. And he kind of yelps in pain.
Okay, now they're going down.
Now you will pay. Yeah, exactly. You just punched Baby Yoda. No. All right. Okay, and the one, the townsperson. Actually, they can't hit that, so never mind that. Okay, and then the only other one I would say is that these ones are here. So, Inga, you are now more or less, basically, effectively surrounded almost by orcs that are floating in the river. So
surrounded.
By a bunch of bobbing orcs. A bunch of bobbing orcs plus Inga, basically, is what we have here. Okay, now Tani is up next and then Stone. So, Tani, what do you want to do? The bar is right above you, broken diagonally over the top of your head.
Wait a second, so multiple orcs just ended their turns right next to me? Or
They are
count
not,
as
no,
one
you
orc?
can see that they've got about, like, most of them are about, like, more than 5 feet, I would say, away. So they're kind of around you, but they kind of created this semicircle, basically, almost. Not intentionally.
Oh no, I'm
it's just
surrounded in a three-dimensional space. Why did it kick me out of the game?
It's true. Ah, Rudenel has inspired Inga. So you were inspired, Inga. Thank you, Rudenel.
You are
Hello,
my true
Mexi.
inspiration,
Oh, the inspiration. I think Inga's about to need that boost. Why would you say that? I don't know. What made you think that? Okay. All right. Where were we? That was... Oh, yes, Tani, you're up.
So, continuing to, I mean, they are synchronizing their hits against the door.
Yeah.
I would presume, because otherwise they would be really stupid.
Yeah, no.
Now, so there's probably less than a second between each. Well, not less than a second, but about a second.
I was going to say about maybe every second. Like, boom.
Enough time to lean back and throw in again.
Yep.
Okay, so not enough time to really, like, try to get one part of the bar out of the way and move the other half.
Not
down,
without
at least
removing your
between-
weight from the door is the problem.
Right,
like,
that's what I'm saying. So basically, he knows that there's no way he's going to get that back into place. Otherwise, so he's as he continues to hold the thing, he just looks to the guy next to him and is like, "You have a blade?"
And the one says, "Yeah," and he holds up. Yes, sir, and holds up like his short sword, which you can already see is kind of like nicked and cut and like So
good. That means it's serrated. It'll rip.
Yes, indeed, it is absolutely that way. Thank you for the resub, Ali Freeborn. Welcome. Thank you so much for returning. Good to see you, Ali. 16 months, nice. Yes, it is. Will definitely cause a nasty case of tetanus. So.
Excellent. So yeah, he's basically like, much like Well, it was kind of Legolas, but it was Orlando Bloom in the pirate movie where he put his foot on top of the cannon. Is like, we're gonna need that. Basically, it's like, get ready. And he basically tells the guys that at some point they're gonna break through. We are gonna step back out of the way and be ready to go when they come through. And we lean into them with everything.
And he sort of nods. Please tell me that you give him the Gandalf with Pippin, in the films where Gandalf's like, a swift sunset, swift moon and sky into the sunrise. That doesn't
but
sound that bad.
He does hold up a honey cake and says, "If you live, I'll give you this."
And he's inspired with new resolve. Okay.
He just kind of like leans his back shoulder into the thing and just pulls a crumb off and shoves it in the dude's mouth. It's like a taste for later. And puts it back in his bag.
I love that this has somehow become cocaine in your idea. Like this is.
I don't have any ring base, or otherwise we'd be fine.
That's fair enough. Okay. So you basically are backing up, getting ready for them to break through. Is more or less what I understand.
When it's clear that like the next time they hit.
That's probably 2 rounds away. If you had to guess.
Okay. No, he's going to continue holding it until he knows that this next hit is going to be in, and then he's going to grab everybody, move them back, and they're going to get their weapons and brace.
Okay, sounds good. And yes, pretty much I'd say +5 to all attack and damage. Sure, absolutely. And then we'll die. We'll die of a heart attack in 1 round. Okay, so that is going to lead us to Stone, who now Stone has got an orc on him right now. Will so Stone is in the midst.
You're fighting with Stone. Remember, he has pack tactics.
Yes. Okay, cool. So he will make an attack with his bite. Let's see if I get this. It would be the 18 with pack tactics.
That will hit.
Sweet.
So go ahead and roll damage, and then I'll have it make its saving throw. Wow. Which it critically makes. It just throws him to the ground.
There we go. 6 points of piercing damage.
All right. Having said all of that, it definitely takes that damage. 33. Okay. All right. So you definitely damage it, but it manages to throw him to the side. It is not knocked over. And I assume you're going to have Stone remain there?
Yeah, Stone's going to stay there because if we get out of it, we start getting attacks.
Okay. Right. That is going to lead us to the top of the round and Inga. So, Inga, you have to decide now. Oh, first we're dealing with Sleepy Kitten. All right, we dealt with Sleepy Kitten.
No, I was just opening the curtains again because now it's dark outside, so I don't have like the whole backlighting thing again.
Gotcha. Okay.
Where you can't see me because it's too bright behind me.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's your turn, Inga. So you've got the rapidly sort of rushing river. Now at this point, you have the ability to kind of take control and move sort of where you want to move, although the current is going to be fighting against you a little bit, so you'll have to make a check for that. The bigger issue is the fact that you got all these orcs around you. So.
Well, I mean, the current is just working against me if I try to go against the current, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could just, that's true, you could just sort of swim down it. It's rapidly moving, though. It will probably take you almost off the map within a turn. Or you'll run right into the orcs, one way or the other.
Oh, let me think. Is it a legal move to, like, split up my moving thing? Like, first move a little bit, attack, and then move another little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then I'm gonna do that. Wait. Gonna move over here.
Okay.
And gonna slice at those orcs.
Sounds good. You will be attacking a disadvantage just like the orc was attacking you because of the water.
I won't because I have advantage.
Oh, so you're using inspiration. So you're just counteracted then. That's good. So you're...
No. I don't need my inspiration because I have automatic advantage against orcs. That's class
interesting.
skill.
Fair enough. Okay, so it's just even anyway.
Yes.
So if you want, you could now use the inspiration to get you advantage now.
I'm gonna save that one.
Uh-huh.
Or like this is just taking with me what I can.
Gotcha. Which one, by the way? This one or the
I don't care. Does it make a difference?
All right. Well, you tell me.
The lower one.
Lower one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, even better. Like she dives down underneath him and slices at him while she's under him, and then like keeps on swimming.
I am not going to. Okay, I'll allow that, but I'm not going to allow you to lose your disadvantage in that scenario. Even if you have advantage against orcs, you're underwater. You are not.
Okay, then she just gotta regular attack him and then dive under him.
Yeah.
Hypercavitation around the blade.
Exactly.
19.
Will hit, absolutely.
Thanks. That's 9 points of damage.
Oh, that's neat, Runo. Okay, that thing... Alright, so you struck that hard. And it kind of grabs at its leg that you've slashed viciously. Okay, now, in terms of movement, so you said you moved that way.
I want my second attack.
Okay, yes, alright, that's right.
15.
Next week, not this week, Echo. 15 will hit.
Okay. It hits next week.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Okay. So, 2 hits on that. So that was very unhappy about that experience. Okay.
I'm not.
But you are not unhappy about it. Okay, now though, you moved a little bit, as you said, and then attacked, and then the rest of the movement. Now the question is, are you going with the current, or are you trying to swim partially against it?
Like the idea is to go on shore.
That's what I figured. So I need you to make
but not like going straight left from her point of view, but like instead more like
diagonal, right? Like
yeah,
down
like,
there or something.
Like kind of, yeah, basically,
okay.
Or maybe even lower, just like so that she doesn't like completely.
I need you to make an athletics check for me, please.
Yes, sir. That would be an 18.
Yeah, you're able to do that. So, okay, so let's see. Through it. Yep. So I'd say it's about right. Yep. Okay. All right. And that is your turn, and that's going to bring us to the river.
Am I still in the water or am I on shore yet?
You are not quite on shore. You will be able to get to shore next round, you believe. You're still, like, right off of it, like 5 feet away.
Yeah, I feel the caffeine working right now.
Just starting to rock back and
I'm ready. What's up, Coven? How does the half dozen versus 1 million combat? It's going. It's continuing. Okay.
I have a song for that. Wait,
do you?
Go on. Yeah,
go ahead, River. So you're up on this one, River. So we'll...
Okay. I also can't really move River's token. I'm sorry for that.
I didn't do that. Sorry.
But I think she is going to try and move around to help Stone and Robar.
Done. There you go.
And the other chap.
Whoops. Nope. I'm gonna put her
how far is she?
Probably 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it might be a double move there.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20.
And remember, she's got to get down too. So.
Oh, okay. How far?
Because she's up a few. So basically, take her about 10 feet. Say
okay.
15 feet
so
to
10,
get to the bottom.
15, yeah.
And
20,
then
25,
you can go another, whatever.
40, 45, 50, 55. Yeah, I guess here.
Okay.
That's as far as she can get.
Okay. All right, and she's now next to Stone and sees the troubled situation in front of her. Okay, and that's
village folk.
That's it for her. Yeah, there's exactly not many. All right, that's going to lead us to you, Robar.
Okay, Robar has an orc in his face, and he's not happy about it. So he's going to draw out his sword and give him a hit or 2.
Give him a what for?
Yes, and and probably just descriptively, he's trying to like kick him back into the water and stuff so that they hold the
I love it. Okay.
high ground.
Okay.
14.
14 is... Yes, that will just hit.
Ooh, okay. That will be +2 to that because he's evil. 10 points of damage.
Wow. All right. So he is. He kind of. Yeah. He sort of staggers back, although not quite into the water. But that was definitely a strong hit. And kind of roars defiance at you as black blood bubbles down from the front of him.
This is when you cut his head off.
Yeah, second attack. Oh no!
Oh man.
Okay.
No,
clearly you didn't hear me.
No, cut his head off. Not
Leave
pull
it
off
on.
and miss. And you're staying where you are, I assume, not trying to disengage or anything.
No, yeah. I'll if he turns back a bit, I press forward slightly. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So you were up there like this. Let's see. Looking down, he does have sight. Okay. As you were sort of drifting by the shore, you hear the sound of the voice of the Gibbet King again, Inga, and above you hear it say, "Drown like the rest of your kindred." And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me again. I have the high ground.
Is that me making the wisdom save?
No.
Okay.
That's Inga, and the O sounds. Well, yep. So what happens is, first
I
of
have
all,
a skill that gives me +30 on the.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You are.
It's called "Nah, you stupid gibbet king dwarves live underground." Ha, neener neener.
You have this experience of now. I mentioned before that you had those sort of you've on multiple times this battle. You've had that sense of being back in the dungeons. Here, though, as you kind of look up at your friends, you see them sort of flicker in and out, sort of insubstantially. And as you look around, there's a moment of horror, and you feel as if you are back in the prison, physically in the prison again. You're going to get a shadow point from this, first of all, so you're up to 5. And also, you are, at the moment, paralyzed. And you seem to be paralyzed by a lot. Now, I will say that under normal circumstances, your paralysis would last for about 5 rounds. Because of this horror. However, you can use inspiration if you wish on your turn to break the spell. So it's probably a good thing that you have that inspiration because, that doesn't help you with the shadow points, but it will help you at least with the paralysis. So you'll have to decide if you want to use it for that. I'm going to guess that you will, but we'll see how that goes.
Sure.
Also, the wagon now is beginning to move faster. You can also see that the fire is beginning to burn fiercely in the wagon, and it looks like it will reach the Gibbet King any moment, but the wagon is starting to, as I say, roll a little bit faster towards the doors. And as it does so, Tani, behind you, or sort of in front of you, you can hear the sound of metal beginning to screech, and you feel this inexorable push. Now, this is not the slamming of the orcs repeatedly. This is some other kind of thing, as if this huge, almost hand was pushing forward into the door and pushing you backwards, which suggests that, like we said, next round, definitely this thing's going to be broken open. But this is, again, coming not from the orcs. Some other force or will is trying to push these doors open. Okay, now the bad guys go. They bash into the door again, and this time the door, not quite flies open, but again, next turn for sure, it's going to be all over, as far as the doors are concerned. Meanwhile, several orcs come here, and are going to try to... Okay, is going to try to attack. They're going to try to attack you, though they will be doing so... The one that's in the water will do so at disadvantage. That's a 16, Inga? Against Tracy?
A 16.
Yeah.
Should hit me. Yes, it will hit. Like, if it's the same number, then it hits, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Meet or beat.
That is going to do 3 points of damage.
And I'm still standing.
Yeah, I'm
You know
still
that
standing.
I'm still standing. All of us sing a different song. It's great.
You've heard of the Eye of Sauron, the mouth of Sauron. Get ready for the hand of Sauron. Exactly.
The jazz hand of Sauron.
No, the jackboot of Sauron is what we're looking at here. All right. The second one is going to attack you with disadvantage and critically miss you terribly. And the other one here on the shore will not have to attack at disadvantage. It will just attack, but it's not going to hit you. I don't think a 12 is not going to get the job done. Right? Because you had 16. Okay. Welcome to the Argonauts, grim and perilous gaming. How appropriate that you've joined us at this particular
hey,
stage.
guys.
What a wonderful omen.
Exactly. Okay, so that is that. These guys go here. This one misses. A bunch of these guys here. These folks go over this way. The orcs sort of pouring across the river. All right, this one goes down here. This one is heading this way. All right. Now, the two that this one gets onto shore finally. And that one gets onto shore as well. Okay, one of them is going to attack you, Robar, the one that's in front of you.
I'll allow it.
16.
I don't allow it anymore.
I don't allow
my
that.
mind.
Take it back.
Abort. And don't forget about everyone's preparation dice. Don't forget that there is one preparation die among all of you. You can only have one of them to use for all of you, but one of you could use it. That's going to be
Even if they're running away.
3 points of damage, Robar, on that one of slashing damage.
Yikes. Okay.
The second one is going to strike down on stone. What's up?
How close are we to dawn?
As you look above, you can just maybe see the light, like just the first faint traces of orange basically starting to light up the horizon in front of you.
Glowworm rises.
Exactly. Okay. One swings down at stone, but misses terribly, you'll be happy to know. Or at least Amal will be happy to know.
We are all happy to know.
many orc shots ring out and fire at both Stone. I don't think they can get a shot at Robar, but they can definitely get a shot at, and probably not Stone either, but they can get a shot at River because of where she is. So 3 will go in that direction.
Sorry,
A 15, a 5, and a 15.
The 15s are gonna hit. Yes.
Okay. It's going to do a total of 9 points of damage between the two of them as they are struck
okay.
back. The red sun rises, exactly. Okay. And as the cart moves, you notice that these creatures behind, the orcs behind it, are starting to move because the fire is on the cart, not on the bridge. So they're starting to move forward this way as they pour over. There's many more behind them. I'm not going to do more because I'm going to slow down Roll20 to a crawl. But just imagine many orcs back in here.
I prefer not to.
Imagine it. Oh, you're fine. You're just in a prison right now. You know, it's fine. Okay, and that's going to lead us to Tani.
Well, since we are pretty damn well certain that this next hit is going to bring these guys through, me and the townsfolky dude, we're gonna, as they're pulling back to make for their next slam, we're gonna step back, and he's gonna have his 90-degree angle sword, ready to go, and then Tani's got his quarterstaff out and ready to just Hassan chop, which makes no sense for the quarterstaff, but yeah, we're stepping back about yay.
Okay. He does the same. Okay. All right, and let's see. That's going to lead us to Stone, who's going to get to go next. Target rich environment, Will.
Yeah, I think Stone is going to focus on the one that just attacked him, and possibly the one that just attacked River as well. So let's see, Pack Tactics, that's a 25.
Pack Tactics is 25, will hit. So go ahead
10 piercing damage.
Okay. Yeah, he's pretty hurt now because you hit him pretty hard the last time too. Not dead though, and let's see if he is overborne by the bite. Does it say there what the, actually DC 13, right?
DC 13.
Yeah.
So just makes that. So he does not fall, although he staggers back under Stone's weight, but then it just throws him back again. That is the battlefield right now. It's totally true. That's 100% accurate. Okay. All right. Stone does that, and I assume Stone is going to stay where he is, right?
Stay fighting.
Okay. Inga, you are up. So now you are able to sort of like pull yourself off to the shore if you wish. So you can do that and get out onto the shore if you wish. And you've got a metric ton of orcs around you.
Aren't I still paralyzed?
You've got, that's true. I should have asked you if you wanted to break the spell with inspiration.
Why did I mention that? I'm an idiot.
I forgot about that. No, I would have remembered it in a second. Yeah, you have to do the inspiration.
Sure you would.
You have to use inspiration if you want to break the...
Yes, I would very much like to do that.
Using a Rudenell's inspiration, you break free and your vision clears and you see just a bunch of deadly, snarling, ravening orcs and the shore right before you.
Yeah, like Inge, drags herself onto the shore, stands up by leaning on her axe, and then she goes right back into the thicket, and goes to attack the next best orc she can find.
Okay. We mean the next worst orc, right? I mean, like, there's no best really that exists.
The most available.
Yes, the most available orc. Okay, you may proceed to do so. It sure is, brother. Hit.
And that's a 20.
First slash, hit.
That would be 5 points of damage.
Okay. And the second slash?
Is that guy still standing?
He is still standing, yes. He's still standing.
Good thing that I have advantage, because 24.
Absolutely a hit.
Assuming that hits, yeah. Barely. 11 points of damage.
He pulls off his mask, and he's actually an elf. You're like, damn it. I don't have advantage after all. Okay, 16.
Well, I mean, like, orcs are technically elves.
That's true. Do you know how the orcs came into being? All right. Yes. So that one is badly hurt. Not dead, but badly hurt. And kind of steps back, holding the sucking chest wound, trying to keep its vital organs in place. Okay, and you are going to stay, I assume, on the shore. I'm assuming you're right there. You're going to stay like where you are.
Gonna move a little bit closer to.
That's fine.
To
Yep,
the
you can do that.
guys.
You can do that on this episode of The Orc Bachelor, yes.
There are
Okay.
not enough roses for all of these.
That's very true. Okay, River is up next. So this is the river, and there's a lot of orcs. Will.
She's going to move in, if possible. Can she get an attack in here? I'm just looking at the.
I think so, because she could probably just
Well, I
basically
do this.
transpose with the townsperson, who I would happily move out of the way, like just
Yeah,
back
let's
5
do that.
feet.
Sure.
Okay.
Get in on the action here. Does she have double attack?
I don't
She
remember.
attacked twice, man. Let's see.
I think so.
I think so as well, but not what it's been with.
I'm pretty sure she has 2 attacks. Yeah, I don't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure.
I feel like she must, because the hand axes don't do a lot
Yep.
on her own. Okay, it was a 24,
Okay, hit.
7,
Okay. Also a
and
hit.
16.
I'm sorry. 7 slash and then 16 also a hit. Yep.
Yep, and then 7 slash it again.
All right, that one goes down. So falls to the ground dead, and she sort of lifts her axe in triumph until she sees like 85 more, on its way to sort of supplement. All right, that one is now dead. Is she staying where she is, or is she moving forward?
Staying on that front line, I guess.
Okay. That's going to lead us then to Robar.
Okay, Robar is gonna do a similar deal and try and kill this orc that he just rolled on that one on a minute ago.
Okay.
Don't do that again.
23
There you
for
go.
10 points of damage.
Okay. That one is now very badly hurt, having hit it before.
Oh man. Second attack. And it will shout, "Hold the line!" 8 points of He got distracted while shouting.
He holds his sword instead. Oh, wait, no, I mean...
Oh no!
Unfortunately, that does
Sorry.
not hit.
Dang.
And the
Okay.
orc, snarls its defiance at you. Okay, you're staying where you are, Robar?
Yep.
Okay. So the townsperson, one staggers forward and fires down at the cart down below. And actually, I should say at the Gibbet King, not the cart. Let's see. Actually, does hit. Does not do a lot of damage, but does hit. And then is exposed. We'll see what happens to him in just a minute. Let's see. Who does the person look at? Right. So the Gibbet King again points at you, Inga, and say, actually, wait. Let me see. Where is the? Yeah, I think he's going to do that again. Points at you and says, "Return to the prison of your mind." And I need you to make another wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Godverdomme.
Part of this is the fact that you happen to be the one that's often in his line of view, as it happens.
And I'm the shortest of us.
I know.
Ugh.
You just need to be like Tani and try to just hold doors. You know?
16.
Yeah, you do manage to hold on against the dread of this thing, and your vision swims, but it clears again as this thing is there. And now this thing goes forward.
Inga responds with, "Stay out of my head!"
And he says, "Your mind is mine."
Oops, I woke up the cat.
The door. Oh,
Where
really?
she was.
Oh, I shot her earlier here in front of her.
You will pay. Okay.
Yeah, good luck. She doesn't obey to anybody.
The Gibbet
I'm
King will
gonna
be
wake
useless
up all your cats.
Also, your household pets will be mine. All right. The doors fly open, as if driven by this supernatural force, Tawny, and the orcs pour through. So you get a chance, as you wanted, to sort of strike down, as will the other townsperson. You can do yours first, and then the townsperson's attack.
Okay.
You can see, by the way, Inga, as your vision cleared, I forgot to mention that you saw the orange and pink growing brighter and brighter on the horizon.
Schmackenze.
Oh, she might not have heard that.
23.
Yes, that'll hit.
And 9 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. That was a solid shot. So it sort of falls backward, not dead, but it falls backwards, like holding its head, kind of growling at it. So yeah, I don't know if you heard me say that, Inga, that you can see the orange and pink on the light is getting brighter and brighter on the horizon.
Good.
Okay, so you did that. The townsperson will also get to sway. Oh wow! And they critically hit the one that you heard, like maybe out of fear and horror.
Hey, I'll take it.
So their orc also staggers back a few steps here. Let's make that. Okay. Staggers back in face of that assault by the townsperson. Okay. Arrows fire. All right. And 3 of them fire. One of them hits the townsperson who had bravely exposed themselves and shot down. It pierces his throat and he falls back gurgling and expires. The arrows fire towards, I guess a couple of them can be on arrows shots on Inga maybe?
Sure.
Probably not, actually. Well, I'm trying to think about the ones on the bridge, but actually I don't think so. A couple will try to aim for a river, though. And we've got an 8, which is not going to get it done, but a 16.
16 is a hit on the river.
Okay. So that is going to do another 3 points of damage. The damage rolls have been good, but the hit rolls have been fine for the orcs, but not the damage rolls so far. Well, one of them was actually against you.
Yeah, that one.
Speaking of which, one now actually comes forward to attack you as well. It was the honey cake. That's true. He saw the honey cake and he knew the deal. Okay, let's see.
I want honey cake, but
That
all I
is-
got is chocolate lollipops.
I actually have sesame, honey sesame things. It's not quite the same thing. Okay, that's going to be a 20, not natural against you, Robar.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And that's going to be 7 points of damage. Okay.
Micro wall.
This one is going to just slide over and then attack. Let's see. Who's he going to attack? I think he's going to... No, he's going to attack Inga. Inga's been the one who's been harassing him. Let's see. That is a 19 with his bent
Yes,
sword.
that hits.
Oh, okay, never mind. This is what happens. 8 points of damage. This is what happens when I say that damage rolls weren't good. And all of a sudden, I'm
Ooh,
like, have some
I'm
damage
down
rolls.
to 2 hit points.
Yeah, well,
Woof.
and this one is going to, let's see, he was on Robar. He gets up here. He's going to slide into place. This one can't get there, but this one will get 1 attack on you. Inga. That's going to be a 12, which I think is not enough.
Ah, no, that does not hit.
Okay.
Bitch.
He's like, what are you saying? Okay. Get that one. All
It's
right.
an ancient word in Dwarvish. It means screw yourself.
That's what it means. It means suck it. All right. Okay. And then let's see. These guys pour through. Oh yes, they poured through. Now they actually get to get their attacks on you, Tawny.
Oh,
So
wait, they ended their turn. So Inga's gonna try to run away.
okay.
And she does not provoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, how far can I run away?
Are you able to, does it say you're able to do a full
half
movement?
of my regular speed.
Okay.
So regular 25, so
So 12. So basically 3 squares, say.
like over here-ish? No, behind.
You could do that. Or yeah, that's fine. So you jump behind Stone. Good dog. Good dog. Okay. All right.
Well, jumping, more like huddling,
Yes.
because she's like bleeding all over.
Yep, and despairing, and yeah, it's bad. Hasn't given in to despair, but there's a lot of despair. Okay, now these ones are going to attack Tawny, and this one slides up. You got 2 on Tawny.
Oh god, they got through the gate. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, the gate fell apart. There was this.
You were busy.
Okay, let's see. First one is going to be an 11 on Tawny. 2 11s on Tawny.
Nope.
Okay. 16 on the townsperson. That's going to hit them, unfortunately. Okay. And strikes the townsperson, who is now bleeding badly, kind of staggers back, falls onto his back. Okay. And these guys are here. All right. That was the Gibba King, the orcs. Now it is Tawny's turn. Tawny's regular turn.
Then, in this case, I am going to... I'm going to disengage from this guy, who's right, just to my right, and I'm going to shift around here so that they can't move in behind me. And I'm going to take a shot at this dude over here with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
Just once, please. 15.
Oof.
15 will hit.
A total of
Uh,
2.
Doink. Okay. That one had been hurt before, and so again, I like the idea that you just keep hammering the same spot on its skull. It's like So staggers back a couple of steps again. And you notice, by the way, Tawny, that as you're sort of dealing with these guys, and all of you actually who have now fought them all face to face have seen that there's just a kind of fierce, almost feverish look. And I mean, all of you have fought now orcs and goblins on multiple occasions, but there's a kind of almost something driving these creatures in an unearthly way, more than just the sort of normal way that they fight. They fight with, there is some growling and snarling, but it's not quite the same level of kind of chaos that they normally attack with. Something is pushing these things together. You can all feel it. And you exactly just keeps hitting the same lump. It's like, ah! Okay. And that's going to lead us to Stone.
Keep forgetting that's me. That is gonna be Stone attacking.
Okay. He's
Come
got the one
on,
that's
buddy.
in front of him.
That will be a 21.
Yep, that will hit. I think Stone's hit a bunch of times.
Yeah, 10 piercing.
Okay,
Still nice.
and
A good pepper.
he bears this one to the ground and just, and the creature expires as Stone takes him down. Is Stone staying where he is, or?
Let's press forwards to meet them on the bank. Hopefully we can push
Okay.
them into the mud and water and stuff.
Push them back. Okay. That's going to bring us up to Inga with the river on deck. All right, Inga, you are badly hurt.
Yeah, I think now that the gate has fallen and we are almost dead, I think it's time to call for a retreat.
Okay.
So Inge is gonna raise up her axe and shout, "Retreat! The gate has fallen!"
Okay.
And is there anybody, how hurt do the people in my direct vicinity look? Does anybody look like I need to help them run or something?
I mean, everyone looks pretty hurt. I mean, the one townsperson on the ground there, they're standing there, looks kind of okay. The river is badly hurt. Stone is kind of hurt. Robar is very badly hurt. Tawny's not hurt too badly, just a little bit. But there's basically nobody who's unharmed in all of your host. Robar looks to be in the worst shape.
Yeah, no, Inge is suicidal like that. So Inge's just gonna hold her turn, basically.
Okay.
So that was a free action.
Yep.
And she's gonna the plan is that she waits for everybody to get out of safety. Into safety.
Okay,
Not
so
out of
when
danger.
they start moving,
Out of danger.
then she will follow them. Is that basically?
Yeah, she's not gonna leave first.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's going to lead us to the river. Will the river respond to that? I mean, like, is the river going to fall back? Or, because she technically doesn't have any creature on her at the moment, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're about to get overrun, aren't we, from this position?
I don't know, yeah, it's.
If we could hold this, I mean, this is tenable, but...
because there's, like, I mean, again, the horizon is starting, yeah, there's, I don't know, it's, I can see this going either way, it's up to you guys.
Like, well, you weren't here last time, so, like, it's not about winning this, it's about surviving long enough for the reinforcements to arrive.
Well,
so...
especially if the river was, like, down with this plan, I think she would retreat.
Yeah.
So, she'll shout, Stone! Roba! Follow me!
Right.
Retreat! And start making her way back.
Okay. All right, she starts to make her way back as... okay, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. So she starts to make her way back. Robar, what about you?
I'll hold the line now.
Just go yourselves.
Don't forget to move Stone. Yeah. Oh, wait, he has separate initiative.
Separate initiative, yeah.
I guess Robar will disengage. He's on 7 HP.
Okay. So disengage 5 and then zip. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. I like this idea, by the way, that as you're doing this, it's that scene from Fellowship when they're running out of Moria, and you know the arrows are flying from the orcs on the other side, and you just hear the right the music in the background. Okay. So you hear this horrible laughing from that just echoes over the town, and yes, run, forces of good. You will be consumed and taken to doom. And there is a sound of kind of grunting, and a great shout goes up from the orc host, but it is a kind of deathly cry as they all surge forward. As this one goes forward, he points at, let's see, who's left? Well, he can still see Inga, actually. So as Inga runs, he's going
She isn't running. She's waiting for everybody
that's right,
else.
she's standing, actually facing him, so even better. So he points at you one last time and says, as you see, you have fallen with the rest of your companions. Find yourself your place in your prison. And then points at you again. I need you to make another wisdom saving throw. This guy's a
Is it
badass.
okay
Have I made that clear that he's a badass?
He's dead ass. Like dead.
He's mostly just, you know, skin and bones. He doesn't really have an ass, so no.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
where
fair.
no, I didn't listen.
Is it okay if I use our last preparation die for this roll? Because otherwise I'm probably dead. Just saying. Party?
Yeah, this is a party.
Yeah,
this is a party decision. That's not a me decision. That's a party decision.
No. Yeah?
Do it.
Okay, so I just get like an additional d6.
D6 to that saving throw, yes.
Wisdom. Oof.
Watch, you're gonna roll a natural 20 on this one. Ooh, good call.
Yeah, and it might. So, 2. Yeah, even with the plus, even with the 5, or actually, yeah. Well, okay. Roll the d6 to add to it.
5.
5, yeah. So, he says this to you, and again the sort of prison returns. You just see this horde of orcs, and you find yourself back in the prison. But there's something additional to this, Inga. As you look over, for the first time in this prison, you can see lying face down on the ground, on the floor of the jail,
Don't say
your
it.
dead husband. And he lies on the ground, just, lying there as you may remember him in his sort of last days. And the laughter of the Gibbet King sort of surrounds you. You take another shadow point.
Okay, so what that does to Inga now is that she falls to her knees and like kind of gets this blank look on her face, like as if she's not there.
Yep.
Yep.
And so this kind of just despair sweeps over you, and the laughter of the Gibbet King as the orcs surge forward. And I think as the others are sort of seeing this and the orcs come forward, this orc slashes down with Inga helpless to prevent it. Does a 22 to hit on you, Inga.
That hits.
And is going to do 7 points of damage to you.
Yeah, she's down.
And so she
Inga,
falls
no!
forward. So Inga falls to the ground, is lying unconscious, and again a great shout goes up. The cart moves forward. But you do notice one thing, which is that you don't notice it. We'll say that Stone sees it and kind of barks to everybody else about this, that the Gibbet King, the fire has reached him. And so the fire begins to move up his body, and there's this sort of screeching sound that begins to emerge from him. He's not dead yet, but he starts to take considerable damage. I want you, and I'll have Inga roll this, actually, even though she's unconscious, but she was the one who set the fire along with a couple of others. Roll 2d6, please. That's the amount of damage he's going to take. Okay, so 7 points of damage, okay, as the fire begins to consume the corpse's flesh. Okay. Meanwhile, the rest of these, the wagon is now heading this way. The fire continues to be here. That goes there. These guys are going to all make it across. The townspeople behind you are all sort of like falling. Sorry, not the rubble. Not the rubble. Not the rubble.
Rubble is moving.
The
No.
rubble, even the rubble's freaked out. Rubble's like, ah.
Oh, like here's a reference that like approximately one person in the audience will get. It's a Staka Taka.
All right. So they are. So you can see the orcs are just sort of kind of flooding onto the bank. The townspeople are running backwards. As this townsperson turns to run, he is just viciously cut down. This, you may remember, actually, Tani, was the boy that you had sent to get the net. And he just falls down, a huge slash across his back, and lies still as all of you kind of make your way back. And let's see, that is going to lead us to Tani, I think. Yes, Tani. The orcs are now, sort of flooding across.
Mm-hmm.
And the cart is almost all the way through, by the way. You can actually even now see, Tani, the cart with the flaming Gibbet King in it.
Well, Tawny's going to, third or fourth verse, same as the first kind of thing, but he is going to, with his strike at the same dude as he's working his way towards kind of backing up, he is going to try to just, because he has not advantage, but he has proficiency being a Beorning with the intimidate ability.
Okay.
So he's just basically just, as he's swinging down on the dude, trying to intimidate the living fuck out of him.
Okay.
Oh.
Where's Stone?
He's buried in there.
He's somewhere in there.
There's a 7, so it doesn't hit.
I actually will move him out. Oh, wait.
And you take him into the water with them.
Actually, yeah, let me...
Throwing stones into the river.
Oh, Stone. I would actually like to see where he is.
He's right here.
What the hell? Where did he go? Also, just one of the orcs is like diagonal and not upright for some reason.
I spun it by accident. That's the secret one. Like, if you can get him, you get an extra achievement. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Well, great
level.
secret, my
What the hell
dude.
did I do with Stone? I know I didn't delete him.
I think he's probably been.
You might be able to
lumped in
re-drag
with
it
one
back
of them.
on.
He's probably in here, but you're winding up moving him with everybody else. He's got
am I?
himself attached to one of the.
You might be able to
Guys,
just drag a new stone token.
Yeah,
on.
I guess so. Sorry, Stone. You'll
No,
always
I'm
live
sorry.
on in our
If you-
hearts.
The artist following
Mouse,
him.
mouse over his name in the turn order. It'll show you where he is.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know it did that. Oh, neat. That's cool. Wow, that is a cool little feature. I didn't know. There's Stone. Hey.
There
Thank
it
you.
is.
That's really cool. I had no idea you could do that. Super cool. Yeah, top
Well,
5 signs you have too
since-
many orcs. I have
since
just
I
the right
taught you
amount of
something.
orcs, Marinda. I don't know what you mean. Okay, Again, for the love of God, I don't want to move the rubble. The rubble is the tower. Stop breaking my immersion. Okay.
Didn't
yes,
hit
she
him,
is down.
but what about the intimidation?
Okay, yes. Now the intimidation.
So roll intimidation, I guess.
Yes, I was gonna say. Yep. Let's do that.
9. I thought that was a 20. I thought it was a 20.
He's like, he's like.
Because I missed. If
Right,
I hit
exactly.
him, it probably would have done much better.
He's just like, he seems unimpressed. Also, but again, not just unimpressed. It's sort of not. He's not really responding the way you would expect him to move. That's part of the weirdness of this. Okay, so, and you're staying where you are.
Well, I'm slowly moving into. I'm not leaving his sphere of influence, but I'm backing up enough so you get a little bit of distance, but not enough to provoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Okay. All right, and that's going to bring us to Stone, who is not buried in orcs.
I guess Stone will retreat as well.
Okay. So Stone turns. This is not quite right. It's about there. Stone turns and is going to run away. So go ahead and move him. He could actually move almost off the map, but just put him by the edge of the map for now.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Okay. This leads us up to Inga. Inga, I need you to make a death save for me. So again, you're going to be rolling. You're looking to get a 10 or higher. A 1 means 2 failures. A 20 means that you recover back to 1 and 1 hit point. So
Okay, 14.
3 failures,
so
you're dead.
14.
Success. All right, so you have 1 success.
And when I get 3 successes, I wake up again. Yes.
No, you just are stabilized at that point. Just means
Okay.
you won't bleed out, basically. As your mind wanders, grieving over what you think you see in the prison with you, that leads us to the river, who is on the run. Is she still on the run?
Does she have any healing? Or anything we can do to help Ingo? Because she would.
Like, she does have her songs and stuff, but I don't know if, I don't think she can still use those. I think she used up her
She used a
songs
lot of them
for this.
already, yeah. I'm trying to remember if she had anything left, but...
So, yeah, I think in mechanics, what she could do is stabilize.
She could do that, for
Inga.
sure.
But that doesn't really get us anywhere, because they'll just kill her anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it could keep her from the death saves, but then she'll have the... yeah. This is a bad situation.
It gets us somewhere, just not somewhere we want to be.
Yeah, she could physically try and pick Inga up.
Yes, could do that.
Let's do that. Let's try and go with that, and maybe... Well, Stone won't be of any help, but Robar will be able to.
Okay. It will expose her to potential attack, not this...
Yeah.
I mean, like, next turn, but...
She's got 20 HP, I think, and I think River would risk it for Inga.
Okay.
So, she's going to run here.
Mm-hmm.
Can Robar sort of, do this as well? To, they can lift her together? I know
If Robar... Yes, actually, because you're working together on the same... Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. You could do that, and if you do that, that probably means that you'll be able to get her out of harm's... Well, I mean, less in harm's way. And then the orcs will have a choice of target. They'll,
Right.
they could aim for either one of you as you all run away.
Okay, yes. Then the two of us will try and lift Inga up. Robar might, swing a sword to try and keep them at bay a little bit. Do you want to check? Or test of any kind?
No, there's no check involved here. She's, the two of you together being able to pick her up are able to do that.
Okay.
The question will be what happens when they start attacking you, but you have a second before that happens. So you're able to pick her up, and then turn, and then start to run away. And I would say that will allow you to get. Let's say it would take you about. You'd basically get 1 move total this turn because you have to run, pick her up, and then come back. So
Right.
if you were normally able to move 30, that would be as far as you could move. So 5, 10, 15, 5. So you could end up back here, say.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
With her. So, and then River, and then her.
There we go.
Okay. Good. All right. Now it's their turn. On his turn, The Gibbet King is going to take 2d6 more damage, so please roll that for me, Inga. There are, indeed, Echo. Yes, indeed. There will be at the end of the session today, for sure.
Wrong tab. I was on the stream tab, not on the Roll20 tab.
Keep clicking it and nothing's happening.
2d6, yes.
Yes, indeed.
8 points
Okay.
of damage.
It's beginning to burn very fiercely, and you keep hearing this kind of screaming and this sight of this creature basically burning on top of this cart as it's being pulled forward by the horses. Sort of strikes you, and the orcs all, like basically get the hell out of the way to allow the passage through, and the cart rolls into town. And the Gibbet King looks over at you, Tani, and you're the closest one to it, and the one who's the healthiest, and sort of points at you and says, "Your race will fall, Bjorning. I will destroy all of you, and all will fall to shadow." And I need you... Let's see which one of his attacks he's given me. Okay. So, he is going to simply point at you, and I need you to make a wisdom save for me, please. Presumably while also yelling at Sabrina.
15.
Yep, and so you see this image of like the prison kind of swimming before you, but then the image passes, and you're just sort of glaring, looking back at him as his fell presence, and this stench now, which is the stench of death combined with burning flesh, kind of sweeps over you. It almost sickening
with it.
With it.
Yeah. I know it.
And so as you sort of stand facing it. And that is going to lead us to the orcs. The orcs are going to attack. Let's see. Okay, that's going to be an 8 and then a 16.
Against who?
Against you. Sorry, Tony.
Oh, thank you. Okay. The 16 will hit.
Okay. That is going to do only 3 points of damage. I will resist the urge to say the damage rolls haven't been, because they actually kind of got to be good again, so I won't say that. This one is going to run in and also try to attack you. That's going to be a 15.
Hits.
Okay, and that again is going to be 3 points of damage. All right. Then these three are going to attack this hapless townsperson. The two of them missed. I was like, maybe he's going to get out of this, and then there was a 21. Like, well, maybe not. And the last one of these expires. They rush up. And now you can see some of them are now running with their long, their bodies kind of long, their arms low to the ground as they run along, preparing to.
Are they doing the Naruto run?
Basically, as they run in. Okay. These ones now run up on you, Robar and the river. We're going to get, let's see. All right. 2 are going to try to aim at you, Robar. You have a 17 and a 16?
Yes. Down.
Yes on both?
17 and 16 both hit me.
That's going to be 8 points of damage, I'm afraid.
I'm down.
Okay, so you fall, and that means that the river also, that Inga also sort of partially falls on top of you. The other ones are going to attack the river. That is going to be a 17 and a 13.
The river gets hit by the 17.
Okay. So that's going to be that's 7 points of damage.
Okay.
All right. So she's still up and moving, but not by much. The arrows shots now stop, and you gather that it's because the orcs are now just pouring on, through into the town, basically as they can. And you just sort of looking back over your shoulder, Robar, your face covered in, you actually, as you fall to the ground, slipping unconscious. I shouldn't say that. The river says this because she's currently the conscious one who can see, and is not behind a tower. Seeing off in the distance, just sees the lightest, sort of faintest ray of light that begins to shine on the horizon. The river can see. And, okay, that's the thing. That's the orcs. The townspeople are falling back. Tani, this is going to be you. And the Gibbet King is, like, standing there, but obviously is on fire.
Okay.
And it's your turn.
I should probably do something.
Yes,
Yes,
it's your turn.
So yeah, he's more of the same.
Okay.
He my initial plan is, since Rabar's down, is now gone. So we're not gonna do that. But yeah, I'm gonna just keep smacking this one dude. But I'm gonna try the if I can land this hit, we'll try that intimidation.
Okay.
But again, we'll see. No.
That is not going to hit, unfortunately. Are you?
Well, since I didn't hit him, I don't think it makes sense that the intimidation would work at all.
Probably not. Yes, I would say that's true. So you have a movement left if you wish to use it.
And 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 attacks of opportunity. No. I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Arf, in the meantime, you might want to move the map over for the stream because, like, right now we're not seeing what's actually
I beg your
happening.
pardon. Yes.
That's
Quite
okay.
right.
Nobody needs to see this horror.
No, good thing that I'm out of it. So
That's true.
just seeing the horrors inside my head, it's fine. This is fine.
Yeah.
We're all fine here.
This is fine.
How are you? What I will do, however, is just barely shift to the side here, so that I'm more up against the wall, so at least one side can't get an enemy on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Shift that over like this. Okay.
there
There we go.
let's see. With a kind of a half glance back over my shoulder toward the coming dawn, I will turn back to the orcs in front of me, and presumably the Giblet Kink can can see it as well.
Giblet King.
Okay, that's a weird kink. We don't kink shame here,
I know,
but still.
I know. I'm just saying. But basically, to kind of look past the orcs towards him, and as I kind of see the sun coming up, just look at him and just smile. This huge smile. He's like, "You are." Oh, sorry. Let's use Tani's voice. You are in so much trouble now.
And it kind of hisses, hisses at you in rage. And that's going to lead us to Stone, who is there. Tough call here. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Stone is an obedient dog, so I think Stone is going to try and help.
Yeah, he won't
He's not going to leave her, so he's going to help the river.
Okay.
And try and grapple one of these orcs here.
Let's make the attack if you want to do that.
Yep. 22.
Wow, he's been on point today.
Thank the gods.
10 again.
Wow, literally.
And
okay.
damage.
And let's see if he. No, he completely does not make the saving throw. So he falls backwards as Stone is on top of him. Kind of, raging, like just, snarling and growling. Okay. And that's going to bring us up to Inga. Inga, I need you to make another death save for me, please.
Sir. That's a fail.
One success, one fail. All right.
So if I
I
fail
have been
3
here.
times, I'm like dead for good,
You're
right?
dead, yeah. If you succeed 3 times, you're not dead, though. So, okay, now we have the River, who is up and is ready to go. River has got 2 dead companions, Stone fighting, or not dead, but unconscious companions, Stone fighting. So, what would you like for the River to do, Will?
Man, so we got both River and Inga down. There's no way the River can lift both of us.
He's gonna have to choose.
Oh no!
God,
Telltale
no!
Games.
Moment.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I don't feel like Will can make this call. I mean,
Well, can I weigh in on this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll allow this to be slightly meta.
she's fought with Stone long enough that with him holding that orc down, she'll have a much better chance of striking at him because she'll have advantage because he's prone. She'll automatically have advantage on melee attacks on a prone figure. She will know that.
Yeah. I think there might be a point where it feels like there's no chance to get either of us up at this point, and so fighting till dawn might be the only way.
That's where Tawny is in his mind right now. He's not going to die running from these things.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, she'll turn and fight, and she'll fight the one that Stone is got pinned down to get advantage on the attack. Nat 20.
Wow.
Even without the advantage.
Dang.
There it is. Oh, and the damage auto rolled, so it's 6 plus math. 3. It's 9.
9.
It's 9.
Okay. And that was the one that Stone was on to begin with, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She strikes him down, so he kills him. Just.
All right. Second attack, not with advantage on a different one. Is 24.
Wow.
For 8 slashing.
Fought like someone who's fighting for her dog and her people and her party. Okay, so it is not dead, but that definitely hurts it, and it kind of falls back a little bit, perhaps somewhat, momentarily cowed by something it sees in the river's eyes.
Wait a minute, she's supposed to be the one dying. What the hell?
What is this? Although again, maybe not quite as much as you would expect. Something still seems to be pushing these things forward. Okay, now she's done that. I assume she's not going to move because it would be,
suicide. Yeah.
All right, so that's going to lead us to Robar, who needs to make a death saving throw, please.
Oh, Robar. 19.
19.
Oh, where
All right,
do I go back up then?
Yeah, the party is there's some issues here. Coven, there's definitely
Yeah,
some
the
issues.
orcs are the issues, I think.
The many issues. Yeah, how many? Let me count up the
I
issues.
don't know if we got an issue.
So it's like 1, 2,
One issue, 2 issues.
3.
You keep
Four.
counting. By the time you're done, we'll be done with the stream.
Yeah.
So the Gibbet King points again. Oh, I'm sorry. First roll the damage. 2d6 again, Terry, please, for him. Inga, I should say. She was the one who did the fire.
8.
Okay.
Is he dead yet?
No, but is looking worse and worse as the fire sort of, burns faster and faster and higher. But the king sort of through its terrible, like its face is almost starting to, I don't have to go into great detail, but if you've seen the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, you'll know what I'm talking about. Right, he's starting, you can sort of see this as he reaches out towards you and says, you will be buried in a prison of your own mind. And Tawny, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Haha, this time it's you, not me.
It was me last
Yeah, it was him last time.
I guess.
Where is wisdom saving? There.
I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
I know. 18.
Yeah. So you're just like, again.
And Tawny's just like, and you can't see which finger I'm using, but.
You just cast it off, yeah. And so you stand before it, and these creatures, the orcs fall. No, not the cart. The orcs fall on you, ravening. 3 on you are going to attack. It's going to be a 14, a 9, and a 16.
9 does not hit.
Okay, does not hit. That's 11 points of damage total. Okay. As these things are continuing to move in. Let's see. They're not going to attack the bar. They're going to attack. Okay. All right. This one comes flying in on stone. Okay. Let's see. So 2 of them are going to attack stone. 2 of them are going to attack river. The ones that attack stone, we have an 18 and a critical miss. So 18 will hit, I assume. Will?
Yes.
Okay. That's going to be 4 points of damage. And then 2 on the river. 16 and 14.
Both hit.
That is 7 points of damage. So,
6 HP.
yeah. All right. And the orcs are flying into town, and now the ray of light that I mentioned. There is now just the top rim of the sun And as the top rim of the sun sort of crosses over the line, there is a moment of stillness, and the war march sounds kind of die away for a moment. And Tawny, and I would say probably the river, can sort of look over your shoulder. Something draws you to look over your shoulder, and the river sees at one point this figure that looks vaguely familiar. It's a figure on a horse that seems to be riding very slowly into town. And then as the figure rides, it casts off its tattered rags, and suddenly it gleams in the sun. A long white beard gleams in the sun, and the horse that it is on charges forward, and suddenly the figure lifts a staff, and a light blazes from the staff like lightning. And behind the sound of 1,000 voices screaming vengeance and defiance rages. And in the front of that set of horses, so you got the guy in the front with the staff, and right behind him on the horse you see the figure of King Bard. His cape flies behind him, his crown is off, he looks every inch a warrior, and he charges with his sword held high, and his voice booms out, "Forth, Bardings!" And all of the army just goes forward. The orcs in front don't exactly scatter, but you hear, Tawny, because you're closest to it, you hear this hiss from the burning corpse as arrows begin to sort of fly, and the army of the Bardings is riding in. They're not here yet, though. It's going to take them a round or two, but they are now charging in upon your position. That is going to lead us to, that was Stone, that was the orcs. That's now Tawny. So you just heard that sound, and you see they're now riding in, and the townspeople just look kind of like, they're sort of like, they don't know what to do. Like, they sort of fall down. Some of them are cheering, other ones are just kind of falling backwards. And so, yeah.
Well, he will call out to the townspeople, basically screaming something along the lines of something a little bit more succinct of, fight like you want to live. We told you they'd come. And then he's going to look back at the giblet douche and just the biggest, huge smile on his face, with just tauntingly, I told you so. And he's going to crack this dude again.
Okay.
18.
That's a hit. You can also throw in your intimidation at this point.
Okay.
But
we'll deal with that after damage. Yeah. For 7 damage.
Okay, he's looking very hurt now.
And we will do the intimidation thingy. Just once, please.
Yeah.
14.
There you go. Yeah. You've done now. What do you want to intimidate him to do again? Did you?
The orc that I had hit.
Yeah.
Basically to just scramble out of my way.
He absolutely does that. He's just like, he kind of falls back again, not with the same kind of, just sort of almost like, but he definitely falls aside. And you now have a clear path to the cart, in case you care. But he scrambles out of the way. And you have a move left. Do you want to do anything with it?
Can I get to the cart without burning myself? But close enough to be basically to the cart to look right at the Gibbet King without invoking an attack of opportunity from these dudes.
Okay. You can do that. You can actually just slide forward even 5 feet and be right next to this flaming cart.
Okay, yeah, that's basically what I was going to do. And the last thing that, because Tawny's basically facing the orcs with the cart off to his side, but he's glancing over at the cart and saying, "Come and bask in the sun."
He's just like, yes. Yeah, I apologize to anyone to whom I committed ear murder, but all I got to say is...
I was thinking about
but that was Bard. I straight up, like, you just heard Bard. I mean, like...
Don't blame you,
yeah,
blame Bard.
Bard.
Right,
I'm just the messenger. Bard, hashtag Bard made me deaf. Yes, there's worse people to be made deaf by, right? I did. Okay, so you do that. Stone is now up. You've still got creatures, still got orcs around you.
Well, Will's not here.
Oh, that's true.
So I will say that what Stone is going to do, because the river is within 5 feet of this orc, right?
Yes.
Okay, then pack tactics still applies.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So Stone will chomp that dude, but I can't roll it. So
Okay. So let me just have. Well, let's see. I'll probably have to revoke all this control later on, but for the moment.
eventually we're going to get to a point where only one of us is available. Wait, he's back. He's
back. Yeah, it's fine. He can do it.
We're going to get to a point where only one of us is available, but that one person will have control over all the characters. And they'll just be like,
exactly.
All the way around.
So
all this power.
Yeah.
So you
Stone is attacking.
Yeah, Stone is attacking him.
Stone's attacking. Where is Stone's carriage sheet? That's fine.
I don't know.
There it is. All right, that will be a 11, man. First bad hit of the day.
I was going to say, yeah, 11 is not going to do it. 11. Oh, that's the best, that skit. Oh my God, I love that skit. I was first introduced to that skit by a student of mine who was Scottish. He's like, I think you'll find this funny. It was really, I was like, I did. Okay. Anyway, so 11 is unfortunately a miss. Is Stone going to stay there?
Yes, why not?
All right, that brings us to the top of the round. Now, folks, Inga is facing a tough spot here because if she critically fails, then she's dead because she's got one failure.
No, I'm not. I had one failure.
I know, but if you but as I said, if you critically fail, you get 2 failures on a critical fail.
Mm-hmm. You roll a 1, and that's it.
Yes. So now, if you get a 20, that means you're back to 1 hit point. So it can work
it's
both
fine.
ways.
You can just take my body to a temple and revive me there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
not so much.
setting.
So, chat, I'm just saying, if inspirations remain, you might want to think about it. If you've been having fun here with Inga, if you're like, you know what?
Even if you haven't been having fun,
Stop dying, Evil Marinid says.
I'm trying, okay?
Coven
trying.
Guy has inspired Inga.
Oh,
You're
thank
inspired. Thank you, Coven.
You are the true hero. Okay, so rolling now with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Oh, I think you're good, Big Boss, in this one. All right. Okay. So that means you've got a success. You've got 2 successes, 1 failure. All right. Well done. Well done.
I can still die.
2 successes. You could still die. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good stuff.
Or not to.
Two
I know, of course, I'm biased, but
All you have to do is succeed 1 more time, and you're good.
Yeah. Unless they decide to coup de grace you. They're like, what are you moving?
Well,
they won't do that. All right. So that is going to lead us to the river. A lot of people around. And so, yeah, it's up to you, Will, as to what you want to do. Do you want to... You could try to stabilize her. You could try to pull her free. You could try to stabilize her bar. You could do a lot of things.
Man. Let's see. I'm on 1 up.
Yeah, you are not. You're not going to be.
2 up, 1
You're not
down.
going to be dead next turn, Robar, regardless of what happens this turn, even with a critical fail.
Let's keep fighting an orc. I think that's what River's doing right now. She's
Okay.
in that.
oh, does
In
she
that
still
mode.
have her like invoking Elbereth thing?
Thought she used that last time.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what she's used and what she hasn't. So
I think she did use it last time.
Yeah.
okay. All right. Hand axe number 1. 12.
12 is not going to hit.
Hand axe number 2. 17.
Yeah, they should be in there twice, Big Boss, because some people have a total of 2 inspirations, depending on what level they support at. So that's why. Each time they use one of those is used up. Okay, 17. Actually, those 2 by Polar, I was told by Polar that he wanted me to basically figure out a way to disperse them to people, so I have to think about maybe I can use channel points for that or something so that people can get those 2 inspirations once per month. So I'll have to think about that. Anyway, okay, so 5 slashing. Okay, that one is now also looking really badly hurt. Okay.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah. They're definitely looking badly hurt, and you're going to stay where you are otherwise, River,
Yep.
I assume? Okay.
I'm always a death from 1,000 attacks of opportunity.
Exactly. Okay, Rabar, you are now up with your next death saving throw.
Okay. Let's do this.
Natural 20.
Death saves. 13.
Two
So
successes. Okay.
Too good. We're too good.
All right. We're too good. Okay.
Too good for this game.
All right. The Gibbet King's turn, and I need, let's see, I need you, Inga, to roll damage again, 2d6.
Just wondering right now, what is like the lore on what dwarves believe and happens to them after death?
I would assume they
3
think that
points
they're
of damage.
soulless. Okay. All right.
Why would they think that they are soulless?
Well, because they don't think about what happens to them afterwards. Basically, they just think they're just dead. The orcs, my understanding is the orcs try to live their best warrior lives, get as much as they can, because their deaths will be brutish and permanent. I think that's it. I don't think they spend a lot of time with existential crises, except to basically think that if we're dead, it's all over, so let's not die. So yeah. Why did you want to mock them with the potential of their own
No,
mortality?
did I say orcs?
No,
Yeah.
I thought you said dwarves.
Yeah, I said dwarves.
I thought you were saying orcs.
The more you were explaining it, I was like, no.
No.
yeah, I'm
dwarf-
like,
no.
wait, did I just say something wrong again?
I thought you said orcs. I'm sorry. No, dwarves would think that they, go to sit at the halls of their fathers. Basically to sit with.
They're all about our ancestors.
their
worship,
ancestors,
aren't they?
yeah. Very much. It's very Nordic. It's very much like wait in Valhalla for the.
Valhalla,
Yeah, exactly.
deliverance.
And then
You
somehow
ever forgot me?
Gloryhammer or one of those other bands starts playing for you.
Like Guardian, you heathen.
All right.
Wait, heathen's the wrong word. Philistine.
I was going to say, heathen is nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
Okay, so he is going to again, let's see, point at you, Tani, and I'm going to ask you to make a wisdom saving throw as he says, abandon your hope.
$18.
Okay, so again, you managed to resist. Apparently, you are made of sterner stuff than what the Gibbet King has been able to kind of, do to you. And so instead, he just sends his horde of orcs ravening at you. So let's see, there are going to be... this one's going to slide around.
He's like, abandon your hope, and Tony's like, so says the coward.
He's just like, well. So 5 attacks from the orcs.
Mm-hmm.
We have got a 20 not natural, 13, 18, 10, and a 20 not natural.
The 10 does not hit.
Okay, so we have 4 hits as I read that. Okay. Well, let's see.
Man, imagine if Bard is like 1 minute late, and the moment he's like, "Ha across the hill is like just our dead bodies everywhere. Oh.
That is 16 points of damage, Tani.
That is 1 more point than Tani has. He is down.
All right, so Tani also slumps to the ground, leaving only the river. Wow, this has been and stone, I guess.
And stone.
And stone. Don't forget stone. All right, well, the orcs are going to try to deal with stone right now. 2 attacks on stone, 6 and 23. 23 hits, I assume.
Sorry, stone. Yeah, that's me. I don't have any name recognition. Yeah.
That's 4 points of damage.
Still up.
Stone can res, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to find out. Okay.
Keep holding E to revive fallen team member.
This one slides around here. They come ravening in on the river. 6, 19, and 15.
Not the river Styx.
6, 19. Oh, that's cute. 6, 19, and 15.
Yeah, the 6 misses.
Okay. Oh, man. Well, that's 9 points of damage.
That's the river down.
Wow.
Oops.
The entire party is down at the moment except for Stone.
Stone
Because
OP.
dogs are awesome.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay.
That is the first total party wipeout that I ever experienced.
It's not wiped yet because none of you are actually fully dead yet.
till we're dead, yeah.
None of you are fully dead yet. All right. Tani, you're up with the death saving throw,
Yet he
please.
says.
What's the
So
TPD?
it's
Total
inevitable.
party down.
Death saves always go really well with me. 11.
That was the jinx.
Hey, there we go.
All right, success. Okay. Now it is Stone's turn. Stone is the definition of overrun. There's a lot of orcs around here. The entire party is down.
He should just eat the river and just join the orcs.
Jeez, what?
Just switch sides. It's the only way to survive this.
Will, what do you want Stone to do?
Stone is going to. I mean, Stone has one actual ability, which is bite
or run.
Yeah, but Stone would die by the riverside. I think.
I think that's true. Can Stone intimidate
the whole army?
Well,
I'm just imagining him standing above like River's
22.
body.
Yes.
I mean, his teeth are covered in orc blood.
Oh yeah,
I would fuck that. Intimidating as hell.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, just listen. No question about it. Let's see whether. I mean, well, seriously, do you want to actually try to attack with him or?
He just did.
Yep, 9 piercing damage. Just got to hit on a 22.
All the time, and I'll tell you what, that actually kills that orc because it was the one that she
was
working on. So, so one sort of falls to the ground, and the entire horde leaves. No, that's not the case. But
I'm out of chocolate lollies.
All right, so he's staying where they are. All right, that brings us back up to the top. Now, chat, we are back up to the top of the round. Bard's army is almost here, but the party is in big trouble. Inga's in big trouble first. She has 2 successes and 1 failure, a critical fail, and she is dead. So the question is, will anyone else inspire Inga? Because she is in trouble.
Man, can you imagine what a bummer that would be? Oh no, I can't even.
She was like so close to meeting her family again after all this time, and
I just looked
at Nonstop says
sessions.
She'll be fine. Coven did, and she used it. Yeah, she needs one more save. I mean, that was, last save.
Here's the thing. Even with advantage, it's possible. You could roll 2 now.
Possible. It's possible.
Yeah, but like that goes to a chart from 1 out of 22, like 1 out of 40. So
that's true.
Right.
So the question is, anyone else jumping on board? Yeah, Big Boss did, but didn't have it. That's right. So do we have anyone else who's going to jump in and inspire? This is your last chance. Speak now or forever hold your peace. If anyone else wants to inspire her, because the time has come.
If you don't, she will hunt you down.
Yes.
No, I will be dead, so I can't be doing that.
No, I mean you. I mean you.
You personally in real life.
No. Don't you know when you die in the game, you also die in real life?
Oh no!
Wow, Elva Marinon, I would inspire, but I can't. Rest in peace. Wow.
This is how it is, man.
Do I have to roll? I refuse. I will just stall the game.
Coven's guy's going to use his last one. Like,
We've
he
only
also exhausted from the audience, like uses his last inspiration. Thank you,
We've
Coven.
only got 3 minutes.
Thank you so much, Coven
filibuster until the
Yeah, right, there you go. All right, you were inspired. Thank you, Coven. Guess I'm going to be single again. Wow! Good grief. Wow.
That's how it's got to be.
Mm-hmm.
What? Who said that? Oh, my boyfriend is online. I see. Why aren't you at band practice? Okay. I don't want to click this button. Do I have to?
Mm-hmm.
You can do it. Hashtag Bachelor Life.
18.
Oh,
18.
there we go.
Do the other one just to see.
3.
3. Wow. All right. Inga is at 3 successes and is stabilized. So she is stabilized and will not bleed out anymore. Meanwhile, in the dead category, or currently unconscious category, the River also has death saves to make.
I need some chocolate. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, death save is an
8. 1
8.
fail. All right, 1 failure.
I love that.
And that leads us to Robar, death save.
Oh, okay. We just need 1 more success for a bar. We got this. Nope, that's a fail.
1 fail. The dice heard you. 1 failure.
What the hell, Robar?
And now the Gibbet King goes, which means I need you to roll 2d6 again for me, please, Inga.
Please die.
You know, I think at this point,
10.
if we throw Robar in the water,
So as the flames sort of creep up it makes this horrible, again, wailing cry. And suddenly the body just sort of disintegrates. And as the body disintegrates, there's almost this feeling as if a rubber band has snapped. and all the orcs around you. First of all, the horses sort of lose their mind, it seems like, and go like basically bolting off like with the cart. The
flaming cart towards the town.
Yeah, exactly. Right towards the inn. No, they go flying off in another direction. All of the orcs around you basically look, and then the ones that were sort of halfway across turn and basically start to run the other way as if something is like snapped. And as they do so, a hail of arrows comes whistling into their back, and the bard's army is literally just like slashing. You hear horns wildly blowing. You see sort of bodies falling around you, and by sea I mean Stone sees, because all the rest of you are unconscious as all this is happening. But Stone is able to see as these bodies sort of fall, over and over again. I'd like to think that as the orcs are running, Stone gets off an attack of opportunity. Go ahead and take that, Will. I'm guessing as he's coming. As
they're trampling over Robar and.
Attack of opportunity for Stone is
chompy.
An 11.
Yeah, that actually, because they're not even looking at you, I'm going to say that's going to hit. And so let's see. And misses the saving throw. So just, he leaps on his back, face plants as Stone, kind of takes care of the rest of it. And with a wailing cry, the orcs sort of as one rush over the river, and the army literally goes charging, like pretty much leaping over your body, Tani, and goes like charging over the bridge towards them, heedless of the fire, just kind of continues to I don't want to lose the rubble, goddammit. They go charging. They go charging over this spot and that and that. There we go. Move the rubble back here. Cart which is on fire, and goes charging back over the bridge. And in the distance, you hear sort of the wail and fall of horns. And of course, none of the rest of you hear any of that because you are all unconscious. Although perhaps Tani has this faint, just sort of sound of something that he kind of can hear somewhere as he wanders through the paths of Not Quite Dead, and maybe just has an image of some voice that sounds familiar, some healing voice that's actually speaking to him. I want to fast forward to a couple of days later. The party has been somewhat rested and recovered, although the wounds have been grievous, and of course the shadow points will not disappear. But there are two things that I want to note. The first is that the party, along with the rest of the army, discovers that King Bard has been able to fall upon the orcs on the other side of the river before they could reorganize themselves. Warriors from Dale and archers from Lake Town and many stout dwarven warriors from the mountain and the Iron Hills who did arrive in time were able to utterly crush the enemy on that side of the bridge. And yet, as the party is told by Bard himself, there is no news of the Gibbet King. The cart has vanished. There was no body recovered. And so there is, although peace has been restored, and Selduin and the rest of the Wilderland area has been saved for now, the reach of the Gibbet King has not vanished. And as the party is sort of thinking about all this, Bard informs them that they are to return with them to Dale, and that they are to return to Dale in part because they have been summoned. Specifically, Inga has been summoned by King Dane himself. There is matter for a council. And that is where we are going to bring our session today to a close as we move into the final adventure of Wilderland Adventures, which is called The Watch on the Heath. And that is the last adventure that will be part of the Wilderland Adventures. So that, I'll tell you what, people, actually, if you had not rolled, I was actually really worried because if you had not rolled, you rolled 10. And that was literally how many points he had left. And I was a little concerned that you weren't going to make it through another round. Because when the body starts getting consumed by flames, then it does 2d6 of damage every round. And I was a little worried when you rolled the 3 in the previous round. But the Gibbet King is the force that obviously inhabited them. And even though you haven't found him, that was pretty. I mean, I don't think I've ever actually had a situation where the entire party was down at the same time, except for Stone. So that was something else. I will start then with not Amal, because Amal was not with us and missed a very, I think she would have called this an extremely stressful event, one that ultimately everybody survived. So hopefully, we'll have a chance to see next time, what she thinks about all of that. But so you should follow Amal and do all the things, and her career is blowing up, and it's all going great, and that's awesome. So, but I want to start then with the first person who's with us that is here, and that is, of course, Terry. I'll tell you what, Terry, there was a lot of focus because of your position on the battlefield and also because of the nature of the shadow points that you had. There was a lot of focus on your character here under the attack of the Gibbet King, and 6 shadow points plus all of the damage you took. That was pretty grim, so I'm curious about how you felt about all of this and how you felt about the session today.
Yeah, you just keep on traumatizing poor Inge. It's like, not that she has enough on her plate already.
I know.
Just keep ramping up that PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm,
I agree.
Oof. But yeah, like that was, how do I put this? Hella intense.
Yep.
So yeah, glad Inge survived. Really glad. Did not want to have to roll up a new character.
Especially, like you said, literally just about to encounter King Diane, like that would have sucked. So.
Well, I mean, like more like the fact that she was going to meet her family again and everything, and so, like after like how long have they been on an adventure now? Like. Oh,
I think now a couple of years,
Yeah.
right? I mean, if you put together, in game terms even,
Yeah.
it'd be a couple of years, yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, that's a thing.
Yep.
Really good though. Like I haven't been this hard on the edge of my seat in a game in a long time.
I thought there was I was worried that one of you was not going to make it. Like when everyone was down, I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
But I mean, they said like literally, it's just like, do not stop throwing orcs at the company. I'm like, indeed, like, I mean, because that's what it is. It's just an entire overwhelming force. So, but you made it. You managed, and having that fire on the cart was hugely important because, yeah. So.
Whew. Well, at least like Inge got in her heroic moment, and the last heroic moment she tried to do was an utter failure and almost ended in the death of the entire party. So great.
So it worked out in the end.
Yeah.
Where will the lovely people see you next?
Well, over here at some point
for Tolkien Tuesdays.
On a Tolkien Tuesday.
Right.
But yeah, aside from that, please, people, follow me on Twitter if you aren't already, because I found my art mojo again after a long break.
Nice.
Like if people who have been following me have seen that I've been posting new drawings like literally daily for several days in a row. So please follow me. Currently doing a series of drawing different states as ponies and also other stuff. After I'm done with Germany, I'm probably gonna do like all the Dutch provinces as ponies. So, which is gonna be very silly, and you might learn a thing or two about foreign cultures. So that's also nice. So yeah, that's that.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I look forward to it, and we will see you back here next week, Terry. I'm looking forward to, getting a chance to see Inga talking with King Diane.
Oh.
It's going to be awesome.
What time though? Are we gonna start early again?
Yeah, the
or
plan is
regular
to start at 10 a.m. because that's the way that we can try to accommodate Amal, and I'm really hoping that Amal will be with us next session, so we have the full crew
Yes.
dealing with the aftermath of this, and figuring out what happened to the Gibbet King. So I'll be interested to see that. But thank you, Terry. Good stuff tonight. Good stuff
you,
as well.
Honestly.
My pleasure. Yeah, it was intense for me too. I also do not want my parties to die. I have to call balls and strikes and be the referee, but I don't want them to die.
Are you sure about that? You did not give off that feeling today.
because I'm playing the Gibbet King, and he does want you to die.
Yeah.
Very much so. But I will continue on with Will. Will, again, you ended up having to play a couple of characters, all of whom were dealing with death issues. Actually, three total dealing with death issues. But it was good to have you back in the saddle. How'd you feel about today? I mean, you as an experienced GM have dealt with this, situation of seeing people on the edge of death. But man,
that was right on the line. Yeah. That's a fun line to be on as well, because it could go either way. I mean, that's probably as close as we've gotten to the party just ending somehow. That's closest to where if a couple of those dice rolls had gone another way, both on the attacks from the goblins and damage and in our death saves, and we might be looking at one or two of us down here because our healer was sort of cut off from the rest of the pack as well.
Right.
So yeah, it's real tight, but we just about made it. And it sounds like we're going to have to fight the Gibbet King another day, perhaps. But yeah, man, tons of fun. I love the super intense battles like that. And we all made it out alive. So, yay!
Alive-ish.
Alive-ish. Most of us is still there. That's the important thing. But yeah, if you want to follow me, follow Encounter Roleplay on Twitch and Twitter at EncounterRP. And Kobold Press, I'm also doing stuff over there, twitch.tv/Kobold Press. We're on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern for some more 5e. We're playing in Midgard. We have the wonderful Dan Dillon as our DM, and things are getting tense over there, actually. We almost had a party member die last week, so we're hoping to save her this week. But that's all from me. Thanks for having me, and yeah, that was fun.
Thank you very much, Will. Always a pleasure. And you should follow Kobold Press and follow Will on all the things. And congratulations again on new married life. And moving right on up the line, last but certainly not least, Tren. Tren, it was interesting here because you're trying to hold the door. Finally, when they break through, then it's just like, and it literally was what Terry had said earlier, which is just got to hold them, like hang on as long as possible. And when the cart broke through, when they breached the gate, and I was curious to see, and actually your wisdom saves, and it's funny, again, how much the dice fit the narrative on these things, because really that has been Tawny's character all the way through, which is just like, I'm not going to yield to this, which is why you still don't have any shadow points, despite the fact that, like, there have been multiple occasions where you would have had reason to do that, and yet you were able to kind of ward it off while this was going on. So I was curious how you felt about today's session and about everyone in the world wiping at one point.
There were a couple things for this one. I mean, at some point that luck is going to give out.
It definitely is.
And Tommy's just going to hit like 40 shadow points all at the same time. And it's just going to be awful, and he's never going to recover from it. I can see that happening right now.
Just all at once.
Yeah, it's just going to go. I'm just going to dump on him, and it's going to be horrible. But when I realized that the gate was going to break the next thing, and Tawny was telling the guy, next time they pull back, we step back and we brace and get ready. I forgot to tell him, make sure you keep one of them between us so that we can attack him from the different side. I forgot to say that Tawny told him that, but surely Tawny would have told him that. Mm-hmm. And then, a couple of really good hits, and then the dude got a good hit in. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. And then I realized, I'm like, wait, I'm right in line of sight with the Gibbet King.
Yep.
And so I'm like, I'll shift over here behind the gatehouse so I'm out of his line of sight and get this wall up against my side. Because I know that's gonna that luck streak is gonna fail, and it's gonna fail spectacularly when it does. Then when the call for retreat happened, I was like, okay, now I've got to figure out how to disengage from these guys without dropping. And then Inga dropped, and I was like, nope, screw the retreat. This is not going to work. There is no way unless we leave her and take off, there's no way we're going to be able to. And I was like, Tawny will not do that. We either all get out or none of us do.
Yeah.
And he was just like, no, I have to do this. I was debating whether or not to have him snap and go, like right back to the Battle of Five Armies.
Yeah.
And then just drop the staff and just go barehanded and just go crazy again. But I was like, no. And I think if the Gibbet King had not been doing what he was doing, because it was his taunting and trying to do that basically kept refocusing.
Yeah, I thought so.
Tawny on what he was doing.
Yeah, I thought so.
And if he just left Tawny alone, fine, Tawny would have gone berserk, but nope.
He definitely
stupid head in the cage.
Well, then that's it. Because he saw Tawny at that point was the greatest remaining threat, and so that was why Tawny got that. By the way, just quickly, Malkara, Arudinel has answered it basically, but shadow points are in this system are what lead to corruption, and when the shadow point total of a hero exceeds wisdom, then they are made miserable, and basically their spirit has been weakened by grief and sorrow and dark experiences. And the effect of that is that a miserable creature automatically fails charisma ability checks, and worse, miserable creature has disadvantage on attack rolls, all attack rolls. And eventually...
And the comparison for that was what from the movies? Was Elijah Wood when he was...
Yes. That's right. When Elijah Wood sort of gives into despair, right. And that kind of moment, by the way, there's also these bouts of madness too. So that when a player who's miserable rolls equal or less than the difference between their shadow point total and their wisdom while they make an ability check or attack roll or saving throw, they experience a bout of madness. And when they have a bout of madness, that means that I then take over and play out the crisis. Think kind of Hercules losing their mind, rage or wretchedness or something like that. And this is something which is very dangerous for the lore master to take control of a player. It's why I do it as little as possible. But this is a scenario where I think it totally makes sense, especially given how long it takes to get to that way. And when a bout of madness passes, then the character cancels all the shadow points they accumulated since their last bout of madness, but is replaced with a single permanent shadow point. And what that means is permanent means they cannot clear it for anything. So that's how this system kind of works. And Inga happens to have been affected by this the most. The river has a good deal of it, has some of it. Robar has just the one shadow point. But Inga has had this, and that's fit narratively with her character because of the loss of her husband and just all of these things that have happened to her. And so, but again, shadow points can also there have been things throughout the adventure that have helped them lose some of these shadow points because they're not permanent ones yet. So anyway, that's what it was. And yes, like Samwise found Frodo with the ring around his neck, Frodo lost it. Exactly. That's also temptation of the ring, but the idea of this sort of bout of madness. I love this system because I think it's just so thematic. Like it's exactly what Tolkien had within his world as well. So sorry about that, Trent. I just wanted to explain that for people who are like, you kept saying shadow points. What is that about?
Right. That's cool.
What it
no
is.
problem.
So, but anyway, yeah. So I think you made the right call there. It didn't seem to me like a moment where he would lose it entirely because the Gibbet King kept being like, hey, bringing him back to the moment. So
yeah. So where will people see me next?
Yes.
Here. Next week for this.
Indeed, that's right. Next Tuesday.
Because we don't have D&D until the following Saturday.
Yep. So you'll be back for this. That will be great. And and I'm really looking forward. The Watch on the Heath is maybe my favorite of all of these that we've done in terms of what we're looking forward to. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the party concludes this aspect of Wilderland Adventures going into this. Incidentally, for the party, you will be fully rested, and I will talk about that. So you'll have had the equivalent of a long rest, but you will not have time for a fellowship phase, as I warned everybody. This is just going straight on into that next adventure. So you will be going on to the final segment, I believe the 8th segment out of 8 of Wilderland Adventures. So that will be happening next Tuesday. But for now, that is going to do it for us and do it for this group for the moment until next week. So can we get some love for our players, chat? Will Trent not be joining us? No, because Trent is not a permanent member of the Our Vocalist because he basically needed... he can't do everything on this channel all the time. Like he needs breaks basically. So he jumped in a couple times when we needed him, but he's a welcome guest who I'm always happy to have back on any occasion. But no, he will not be here. So tonight we will just say again what
he said that he loves my judge, and that clued me into what you guys were doing tonight.
Yes,
so.
we are doing. That's true.
I'll tell you what. Just for you, Coven guy. Shut up.
There we go.
There you go.
Nice. Yay. Explain to the court why I should be shocked. Still one of my favorite lines in any game. Anyway, but we will see that tonight. But I'll talk more about that later. Chat, good work from you, by the way. Serious use of inspirations. I can't wait to see the reaction from the
That was the other thing.
Then the IAB people who are just going to be like, the hell was going on with Middle Earth. And they're like, listen, all right, we had a whole country. Sorry, what was the other thing?
To encourage people, please subscribe and support the channel because we need inspiration.
We need inspirations. It really is true. It really is true. And I have to figure out how to handle those 2 ones from Polar. Maybe I will do that as a channel point thing because that makes sense to me that you get a really high number on the channel points. We'll see. Anyway, I'll think about it. You had to use both of yours. I know, Coven. You are, listen, you and someone else did an inspiration. There were like 3 inspirations today. And
I got 2 from Coven. Like there were 2 from Coven and 1 from
Arundel used one. That's right. Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry.
Just like I did. That's exactly how it's pronounced. Yes, perfect.
Thank you very much, Mokara. Thank goodness for Bard. That's true. And they also, I mean, they had to hold them on. I was keeping track of how many rounds they kept. They kept them, and you guys held them long enough, just long enough. But. Yeah, I was nervous. Anyway, it was good to see everybody today. So, chat, let's get some love for our players. Thank you so much to Trendane, to Will, and to Terry. We'll see them back with Amal next week. Thanks, everybody. You made it.
Bye.
And that is going to do it for this session today, at least for the Adventures of Middle-earth. But don't anyone go anywhere just yet, because... we do have one thing we have to do, which is we have to vote on the Chat Chosen Game of the Month. We have to nominate the Chat Chosen Game of the Month. So, yeah, that was a great session, although it was intense. I knew it was going to be intense. This is meant to be a really, really hard battle. But I got worried because there were a couple of not so good damage rolls to the Gibbet King when he was on fire. And I was a little nervous about the fact that he might not run out of hit points fast enough, basically. I thought that once he was on fire and once they had held him long enough for the armies to show up, I figured that they would probably, that someone would survive. But I thought there was probably a 50-50 shot, if not a little more, that someone was going to die because there were just too many people that were down and that were hurt. And so it was a problem. The name is a 9-year-old. Arundel? What? I thought it was a Rudinel. Isn't it a Rudinel? Aren't I doing that right? Or am I doing Ru? Should it be a Rudinel or a Rudinel? Stone did survive, that's true. It is a Rudinel. Okay, good. I want to make sure that I'm getting that right. Okay, so anyway, that was close. And if you folks are like, man, what could possibly happen next? Just you wait, because there's a lot of good stuff that's going to happen upcoming next. So let me bring up then, get rid of my little dice roller, and let me bring up Arvbot so that we can have our little nomination. Okay, so here we go. Oh, that's how it actually happened. I see. That's funny. I don't think I knew that story. Okay. Arvbot, load, start. Okay, here we go. Arvbot is here. Hello, Arvbot. And there we go. So the question is, so these are nominations for the Chat Chosen Game of the Month. I'm going to be playing this. We'll have the final vote on this next Tuesday, and then I'll play this game in 2 weeks. So I would like nominations, please. Just one nomination per person. I reserve the right to veto a game if it's a game that I either am going to be playing anyway, or I've already played, or if it's a game like a horror game that I'm just not going to want to play. So I have played Life is Strange. I have not played Detroit, though. Okay, Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Okay, Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Lunar 2. Detroit Become Human. Oh, I've heard of that. Detroit Become Human, okay. Human Fall Flat. Is that a thing? Is that actually a thing? Is Human Fall Flat actually a game? What the heck is that? Is it really? What is it? Oh, via GOG. Well, of course, I have the GOG edition. Of course, Echo, I have the GOG edition. It's like Goose Game, a puzzle physics game. Okay, cool. All right. Well, Human Fall Flat. And thank you, by the way. I wanted to say for the kind words, Melkara, and yeah, hopefully you'll be next Next one is even like, again, I'm a big fan of this next segment of the adventure. So, okay, so we've got Here's My Magic 3, Lunar 2, Detroit Become Human, Human Fall Flat. I could take 2 more nominations. Again, only 1 nomination per person. I could take 2 more nominations, and then we will have a vote, and the top 3 will go into the final vote category. Just for sort of notice, by the way, I have a Nintendo Switch. I have a PS4. I have a Retron 5, so I can play Game Boy games, Game Boy Color games, Sega Genesis games, Nintendo games, I think Super Nintendo games as well. I have a Wii U, so I technically could play something available on the Virtual Console. And of course, I have a PC. So any of those are possible. I can't play any Xbox exclusive games, though. But the rest of it, I have pretty much access to most things. So, yeah. Here's My Magic 3, Lunar 2, Detroit Become Human, Human Fall Flat. Any other ones? Okay, that's cool. Well, your last one, Coven, which was the your last one was Event Zero, right? And that ended up working out pretty well, so that was cool. Any others? Any others? Any others? Any others? Last call. I'm going to last call this. Or I'm actually not going to last call it. I'm just going to say last call for nominations. Last call for nominations. Also, I'm going to check this whisper out. Oh my God. Is that an actual, you're thinking about that as an actual shirt? Echo? Is that an actual shirt that you're considering? I don't know whether to be flattered or troubled. Oh my God. I don't know whether to be flattered or troubled by this. I do not know. Prettiest Princess. What is that game, Conrad? Prettiest Princess, huh? I'm not sure that I'm finding this. I see Prettiest Princess games. Maybe. I'm happy to put it in the list, but I don't know what the game is that you're referring to. Oh, with Event Zero, yeah. Right, exactly, Coven. That game, yeah, I liked Event Zero, but it really did not give you enough information towards the end. So anyway, yeah, I'm not seeing this, Conrad, exactly. So I don't want to add anything in until I know for sure that it exists. Like, anything, Conrad? Because I don't see it here, and I don't want to put it up there otherwise. So I see there's a Prettiest Princess Games that's a board game company that seems like they're currently not active. There is a Prettiest Princess. Wait, what? There is a Total Biscuit Let's Play of it? Oh, this is Long Live the Queen. That's Long Live the Queen, though. Is that what you mean? That's what you're talking about, right? Long Live the Queen? Okay. That's fine. Okay, long live the queen. Got it. Okay, anybody else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Yeah, I know. Total Biscuits. I think he passed away. It's been a year since he passed away now, I think. I think he passed away a year ago, I want to say. Yeah, long live the queen. Okay, cool. I got it. All right, then here we go. We're going to open the poll. 2 years. Wow, that's amazing how fast time goes. Okay, here we go. Poll open. All right, so now you can do $ vote space and then the number you want to vote for. Vote 1 for Heroes of Might and Magic 3, 2 for Lunar 2, 3 for Detroit Become Human, 4 for Human Fall Flat, 5 for Long Live the Queen. And the top 3 vote getters will go into the final vote category. All right, we have right now 2 votes for Lunar 2. We got 1 vote for Hom 3, 1 vote for Detroit Become Human, 1 vote for Long Live the Queen. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Got 2 votes for... Oh, wow, look at that. So we've got... What's up, Dark and Wolf? We've got 2 votes for Hom 3, 2 votes for Lunar 2, 2 votes for Detroit Become Human, and 2 votes for Long Live the Queen. All right, so we have a tie here, a 4-way tie. And we're going to need a tiebreaker. Well, the thing is, I don't want to put 4 games in that final list. I only want to do the top 3. So if someone wants to change their vote on one of them to one of the other games, that would be appreciated. Because otherwise what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to delete one and then do another round of voting, and I'd rather not do that. So I'd rather that we break the tie if we can. So if someone wants to switch their vote, if you're not too fired up by the choice that you made. So now we've got, let's see, questionable results just added into the vote. So it definitely seems like Lunar 2 is on people's minds. That's cool. I have played Lunar 1, which has, as I recall, some of the worst voice acting in the history of games. Very bad voice acting. Fun game, though. Okay. So, still gonna need a vote change, hopefully, from either Hom 3. There's more of it. Great. Never played Steel Harbinger on PS1. That's true. I'm not that. I can't say. Listen, Resident Evil 1 voice acting is pretty crappy too, as well. All right. If you want to change your vote, you can do that, Dark and Wolf, unless you already voted for it. I think your vote was 1, so you can change vote. So yeah, $ change vote space and then the number, and it will change your vote. Oh, there we go. All right, last call. Thank you, sir. Oh my God, really? That's funny. Yeah, it's just... Having had the pleasure of working with professional voice actors now, it makes a big difference when they're not, and when you can hear people just being like not even talented amateurs and you're just like, it's not so good. All right. And done. So there we go. Our 3 game choices for today, for this month, are going to be Lunar 2, Long Live the Queen, and Detroit Become Human. All of these are fine choices with me. No problem with any of these. And Echo has put the poll up there, which is very nice. Thank you, sir. Would Rudenell or Coven Guy, or maybe Terry Tunes if she's still here, would any of those be willing to please add that to the next game command? Would you folks be willing to do that? Is that a reap? That must have been the old pledge. Wow. Okay, well, thank you to Coven Guy. That's actually, that already happened, as did that. So literally, these pledges are just coming in now. That's interesting. The alerts are like, oh, by the way, it's just very slow. But thank you again to Coven Guy and to yeah, that's so funny. Why are these doing these now? That's so funny. All of a sudden, they're like, we're going to do this. Anyway, I'm very grateful. Others? Okay. That's weird. So funny that it's doing that now. Notifications are a strange beast. Like, I'm happy that we have it this way, but it's a strange beast. It really is. Okay, thank you, Rudenell. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's the vote where that's the thing that actually counts now. Oh, for the love of God. Okay. I'm just turning off notifications for the moment because this is silly. Wait a minute. Why are we getting this many votes? Why do we have all these votes suddenly? Also, why is my notifications thing going out of its mind? Can this be stopped, please? Okay. So weird. Okay, why are there all these votes? Did this get posted somewhere? Where did all these votes come from? Why did we have 107 votes on this? 108 now. Did this get posted somewhere? Who posted this somewhere? We didn't get a raid or anything. Yeah, that's weird. There's not nearly that many people here. I don't understand. I mean, because right now it says there's 108 votes, and I don't get it. There should not be 108 votes unless it showed up somewhere. Like, that should not happen. There's only about 20 people right now that are here that showed up and that are here at the moment because I'm closing down here in a minute. And, like, there's no way that we should have 108 votes coming out of that. Like, I kind of feel like we need to do it again because I feel like that's not, yeah, that doesn't seem right at all. So I think I'm going to do this again because that's not right. Can we try this again? Let's do that again. I don't know what just happened there or why, but yeah, we didn't, I mean, like, it wasn't even posted yet on Discord or anything. So, like, that was weird. Okay. So let's do that again. Let's make a new one, please. And was really strange. Let's do that again. And what was happening at the same time that I was suddenly getting the Patreon, like, you know, re-ups that from things before. So I don't know what happened there. That was a weird little, like, hiccup. Yeah, we're voting for Game of the Month, but we're going to have we're going to do the straw poll. Is this a different straw poll though? Yes, this one's different. Okay. So yeah, do me a favor. Yeah, it is. It's set for like an IP duplication. I think, did you set it to like, yeah, we'll see how this works. I just want to make sure. Like, I could see there being 20 votes that might end up there, not 100. So anyway, all right. So if Harudinel would be so kind as to make that the new next game, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so that's where the vote's going to be. That was really odd. I don't know what happened there, but you know, it's all good. We're all fine here. Thanks. How are you? Okay, and that's it for ARVBot. That was really odd. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing. Long Live the Queen, Lunar 2, and Detroit Become Human. That's a much more rational number. I don't know what that was all about, but that was really strange. So anyway, all good. Yeah, I don't know what that was. It was weird. It may have been just a glitch because I don't know how that happened. But anyway, we're good. That is much more rational amount of votes. We'll see. Anyway, that is going to do it for me. Thank you all. We will have the final vote on that next Tuesday. Now, in a few hours at 4 p.m., so about 2.5 hours, I believe, we will be over on GOG with Pen and Pixels as we move into the home stretch of Return of the Obra Dinn. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm almost, like I said, almost done with that game. Would love to get it done today, but if not, it'll be 2 sessions because next week we have D&D with GOG, Storm King's Thunder. So I'd love to get this done and then do D&D and then have a new game start after that the week following. But if not, then, you know, I'll do this today and then we'll finish it certainly the session after D&D with GOG. So one of the next 2 sessions we should be able to get this done. We'll see. That'll be at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, right back here, we will have the incredible Our Vocalist with Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, and that will be our vocalist session for the month. We will be joined tonight by GC Darkside Rob, by Little Red Dot, by Zach Clay. Hopefully Russ will be able to join us a little later. Tuesday evenings are not always easy for him, but hopefully he'll be able to jump on board maybe halfway through. But otherwise, we'll at least have 3 of the 4 our vocalists with us doing the awesomeness known as Apolojustice Ace Attorney. So that's happening tonight. Yeah, it could be. I mean, like, I don't know, but it was really weird, and I just didn't. I was like, I don't know. If they're going to do that, I want them to let me know. Like, if they're going to do that, they need to be like, hey, congratulations, you just got something posted on the front page, in which case I'd be like, great. This channel has never been on the front page in 7 years. No, more than that. Close 7.5. I mean, closing in, it'll be 8 years in April. Has never been on the front page, and I would love to see that change. I'm very proud of the fact that we've grown to the level we had without ever having a raid of above. I think the highest number raid that we ever had was like 150 people. So we've never had a bigger raid than that, and we've never had featured on the front page. And I would love for either of those to happen, just to be able to show show off all this lovely people in the community and the wonderful group that we have. So hopefully someday that will happen. If you hear my words, Twitch, would still love to get partnered down the road. That would be great if we could make that happen. But that is going to do it for me for today. I want to thank everybody for being awesome and for having been a big part of this session today, a very intense session. Don't forget about the ways to support the stream. Make sure to follow the channel. Check out the YouTube with !ArvTube, Discord with !ArvCord, Twitter with !ArvTweets. You can find all of that on my webpage for this channel, including the current schedule for the month. That's arvaneleron.com. On the financial side, the shop is !ArvShop. Indeed, you're going to see more of that stuff coming up next week, where more of these clothing comes in for Adventures of Middle-earth with Terry Toons illustrations, plus also, of course, the Infinity and Beyond group. They have merchandise for them as well, and soon to be Esper Genesis stuff coming up in the store as well. And then certainly we've got that. Then we've also got the Patreon, !ArvTreon, sitting right over there at $3.23. That definitely makes a big difference to the channel and also makes a big difference to what you can do individually, because you can get a copy of my albums. You can get inspirations. You all saw how valuable inspirations were today, so you can get that as well by supporting the Patreon. And last but certainly not least, that sub button right above the video window, currently sitting at about 85, maybe 86 subs at last check. So again, the more that we can push that up, that also definitely makes a big difference. As far as the stuff that also Coven Guy and the rest were able to post, don't forget about the library, !Library. That is the Forbidden Library, my adventure D&D 5th edition source book and adventure, published by Alligator Alley Entertainment. That is will be out in PDF form in the next couple of weeks, and then it will be out in print in February. Very excited about that. Very excited as well about !Icarus. That is my graphic novel for Icarus and Jelinek. Art on that is amazing. That is going to be coming out in sometime in May, early May, late May, well, sometime in May or early June at the latest. So we're very excited about that as well. So please jump on board with !Icarus to pre-order that. And !Grayshade KS is about my Grayshade Kickstarter featuring the Grayshade Literary Universe. There'll be more details about that coming up in a couple of weeks. The Kickstarter for that will launch in March, but we're going to talk more about that in the next couple of weeks. So please jump on board with all of those things. Otherwise, I'm going to get on out of here, and I will see you over at GOG. No raid today. I will see you over at GOGCOM at 4 p.m. Oh, thank you, Coven. I appreciate that. Yes, I did write it, so I'm pleased if you think that the writing was good. Thank you, sir. But that's going to be it from me. Thank you to everyone who was awesome today. Thank you to my wonderful mods, Arudinel, Coven Guy, and Terry Toons, and I'll say more about Terry in a minute. Thank you so much to my subscribers, Arudinel, Coven Guy, Terry Toons, Echo Alpha X5, Nonstop, Big Boss, and Miranda. Special thanks to Echo Alpha for all the extra work today with popping up the links, etc., and for getting a shirt of me with Arv Kappa, which is troubling but also flattering. Thank you to my wonderful viewers, and Miranda too. I think I said Miranda, but thank you, Miranda, as a sub. Thank you to my wonderful viewers, to Aiden, Commander Root, Darkenwolf, ECAG, Electrical Longboard, Encounter Roleplay, Feet, Giza, I love you, Vigo. I love you, Vigo Leet. I love Vigo too. Melkara Darkwell, Megaxara, oh, thank you. Yeah, I was proud of that story. I got that story while I was taking a yoga class, actually, Coven, is where I first got the idea for that story. Thank you to Megaxa. Thank you to Mubat, I guess. Thank you to Ms. Shaw. Thank you to Nergobert. Thank you to Questionable Results, Second Obs, Trendane, U Christensen, V&K, Virgo Praz, and Windsock. And in particular, thanks today to Terry Toons, to Will Jones and Counter Roleplay, and to Trendane. Thank you for my wonderful players. Great job today, and we're on to the last adventure in Wilderland Adventures, so we will see how that goes. goes. But that's going to do it for now. Much love to all of you, and I will see you over on GOG in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I'll see you over there in a little bit. Until then, everyone be good to each other. Bye for now.